How mean is that? You know, it's funny. Bill Gore goes, I haven't seen him in 18 years. He has no idea. I just took his head off in a fucking ballroom before Murph and the Magic Tones come on. And until then, don't go change it.
Schmitty Comes Alive. Available only on the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive and alive.
I'm so great, I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell. What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast, leaping in with both feet, ladies and gentlemen. Been sitting here with my friend Lily for a few hours talking about everything in the world, everything under the sun, going back and forth about everything that's happening, and yet we have avoided doing the show. I said, you know why? Folks, here's why. Because there's a real last day of school vibe today. Because this is the last show of year 5, and so I'm like, well, because I had an idea for this week's show, and it was shot down. I so wanted to do it. Oh, I so wanted to do it. And then the boss, David Hernandez, said, no, you can't do that. And I was like, what, sir? I really would like to do it. And he said, you're going to be fired. And he has lined up 5 other fat guys to talk to you for year 6, and I had to take him seriously. What if year 6 started, it was a totally different dude? Like, what if he got Larry Bagwell or one of my nemesis from high school?
Do it.
That'd be awesome. Let's have a casting call in the next 2 weeks. We'll try to figure out a guy to step in and sit here and fucking do it. Because remember, we were going to have a Spanish dude do it once. That would have been the fucking greatest. Although I can't even imagine a Spanish guy trying to talk as fast as me. Like, his mouth would explode. Like, it would be like a crazy cartoon. Because they got a lot of trill and stuff like his tongue. Literally, his tongue would be a knot, like a Daffy Duck cartoon or something. Because if he kept trying to talk as quickly as me, and then he's like, brr, 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 he'd sound like a hummingbird. Do they sound like that?
No.
I've never heard a hummingbird, actually. I don't, they exist. I've seen them fly. They fly around my house all the time. There's someone who has a house, like a hummingbird house hanging outside of their house or outside of their apartment. Which, by the way, that seems weird. Buy yourself a house before you buy your bird a house. I understand, semantics and it's affordable and cash-wise, but if you live in an apartment and then you buy a house for something, like a hummingbird house, that's just terrible. That's misplaced funding. You should go ahead and put that money into your house fund, so then when you got your big house, you could then buy a hummingbird a house, and then everybody's got a house and everybody's happy. Unless you're happy living in the ant farm that is my apartment complex, which I love, by the way. I worship my apartment complex. That seems strong. I like it. Although it's that thing now where people, because nobody knows how to talk to me, again, because of what's going on with me. And we've lived there, or I've lived there now. Well, we together, Karen and I lived there for like 16 years. And now, Karen left under the cover of night, like the Baltimore Colts. Karen is my Baltimore Colts. That's what she is. She got like the moving vans, and she moved out under the cover of night. And I woke up in the morning like, hey, wait a second. So she Baltimore Colted me. She fucking Art Modelled me. My wife did. And then I came home to an empty fucking joint. And then I wasn't sure. All right, here's the thing. I'm still not sure. Everything's up in the air, folks, with me, as you know. I'm still looking for a job. I'm looking, and I'm starting to reach out now to people and sending that, like, look, if you have a tenuous connection with me and you have a job, expect an email, because that's coming. That's terrible thing where I got to sit down and write, hey, by the way, and then, what's funny is I try to write it because there's no way it's not awkward. There's no way. And I even preface that in the first line of every email. I'm like, hey, I hope you're good. Here comes the awkwardness. Like, brace yourself, grab an umbrella, because you're about to get hit with a fucking crazy shaving cream pie full of awkwardness. And then you write those people. And then the worst part is like, because you put yourself out there. And like, I don't ever want to do that, because you want to maintain the illusion that you're still kind of like okay. And not even okay. You want to, you're never supposed to show weakness. That's the whole point, because you'll get sniffed out and fucking killed by wolves. I mean, it's just terrible. I got a wolf theme. Why do I have a wolf theme happening, a wolf thing happening in this show in the last few weeks? So I'm reaching out to people and I'm telling them, look, this is awkward. Then you kind of lay yourself out there kind of bare and you're like, look, this is where it's at. Because I normally I wouldn't do that. Normally I would just kind of, hey, you ever hear of anything? Keep me in mind or whatever. But now I kind of have to, because look, it's okay to do that with people who know your situation. But now I'm reaching out to people who I know, but I don't really know. Like I have kind of a connection with them and they're friends or we're friendly. But I'm reaching out to them to see if they can be much more at this point. And then that's awkward and strange for them because it puts them in a weird position if they have to say no. I don't want to ever do that. Like, and it's funny, half the letter I write is all about how I know you wish you weren't my friend. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I'll write this thing like, hey, they always say it's who you know, and I know you, although I cannot imagine how strongly you wish that wasn't the case at this point. Like, even in those emails, I wind up talking the person out of ever wanting to help me with anything. It's so fucking stupid. But it's like because it's all eggshells, man. I mean, you're out there and you're reaching out, and it's that thing where dude, I've been hit in the fucking nose with the newspaper so often. Like, I barely want to come out from under the bed. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of deal. And we all live that way, or we all have that thing where if you're at work and you try to get a raise, or you try to get even a promotion, or you try to get a fucking better office chair, and you've got to fucking prostrate yourself to go in and be like, hey, I don't want to bother you. I don't want to be the squeaky wheel or anything, but my chair has a dildo that rams me in the ass every time I sit in it. Could you kind of remove that, please? I didn't think I was going to be sitting on a fuck machine at work. I thought I would have a nice, comfortable office chair. I never realized that there was going to be a Sybian that I had to sit on because it's really hard for me to type as I'm sitting on the Sybian. I enjoy 12 orgasms a day. I mean, who wouldn't? But as I'm trying to help people with their car insurance over the phone and type in their accounting number, it's really difficult for me to keep on top of that while the Sybian fries my vagina. So if you could go ahead and give me like a comfortable office chair, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, I really like the Sybian too. It's a great idea, but unfortunately, I'm really going to need something different. And maybe we could work it out where I could sit in the Sybian for half the day and maybe at the office chair. Dude, what the fuck? I can't tell you how many times I have to eggshell the shit out of stuff where I'm just like, there was a dude, did I tell this story on here? I might have, I might not have. There was a guy who hired me for something. It was a guy I reached out to, and I just reached out to him like, if you ever hear of anything, and then he hired me, and it was totally cool. And then there was a question about the money a couple of times. And the question was on my end. Did I talk about this? I must have. And then I got whacked. Like, he sent me a note. He's like, yeah, I think we're done. And I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand. I'm cool. I'm just trying to get things straightened out. And he's like, nah, that's okay. And I think literally he closed up shop and left show business. Like, that was the end of it. Like, I have this thing where I kind of drive people out of their chosen industries. It's the weirdest thing in the world. I went to therapy. I went to 5 sessions. And after the 5th session, the girl's like, hey, man, I'm quitting. She's bailing. Just quitting therapy. And I'm like, really? That's happening? She's like, yeah. And what's so funny is I come to you complete with an entire Samsonite luggage set full of abandonment issues. And yet I cannot push people away from me fast enough. I mean, it's the weirdest thing in the world. And it's like, so I'm chicken and egging the whole thing. I'm like, what came first? People abandoning me or my abandonment issues? I don't know. Are they just so palpable and strong that people have to run away from them? Or is this like some cosmic joke where everybody's like, dude, that guy so hates when people leave. Wouldn't it be hilarious if everybody fucking left? Let's do that. Like, when I turn 60, am I going to walk into a darkened apartment and everybody who ever left is going to be there with streamers? Surprise! Like, I'm a social experiment. That's what I am. You ever seen The Twilight Zone when the aliens come to Earth and they have like 3 heads and a silver shirt? And then they're just like, hey, let's observe these humans in their natural environment. And then they send a dog that won't do what it's told. And then all of a sudden the fucking block falls apart and everybody's shooting one another within like 9 minutes. I think that's who I am. I think there's aliens from the Twilight Zone. And they're like, let's take away everything from that guy. Let's just do it constantly. Let's also make him really good at the thing that he's best at. And let's give him just enough support from people who recognize how good he is, but he never gets to get over the hump. And at the end of it, let's throw in a Sybian for an office chair. Let's see how that works out for him. Let that dude sit on a Sybian. When all is lost, when everything has fallen apart, we will take his office chair finally and have him sit on a Sybian and see how he deals with it. Because there's not, I mean, I would give a Sybian a ride. I'd give a Sybian a day in court. I mean, it's not going to do anything for me, probably. I mean, unless I get, is there some sort of fucking prostate shake that I'm not aware of? And by the way, do not order that at the Sonic. Oh, my God. If you go to Sonic at the drive-in, do not order the prostate shake. It is awful. I mean, it sounds good, certainly, but let me tell you, it is just, but I will tell you this, it is a bottomless cup. You get that prostate chick going, and your cup is never empty. I will tell you that. But man, it is not exactly what you're looking for. All right. So it's that last day of school, man, where I'm sitting here with our friend Lily, and I want to go, and I want to all of my stuff, like all the shit in my locker, like none of it matters, and I'm just sitting here. It's that thing where you would sit in a classroom, and I can tell you, some of my best memories of school. Check that. My best memories of school would be the last days of school when you were just sitting there and you had nothing to do. I remember once I went and a teacher was going to try to give us like a quiz, like a summer quiz, and like we all just like, that's not happening ever in a million years. Like kids revolted, and we're like, no, that's not going to happen. And he actually had to kind of go back on the idea. He thought it would be fun, like he was engaging us, and we were just like, dude, we're sitting here doing nothing. Please sit at the desk and do nothing. That would be great. That would work out perfectly. I had a teacher once who, in sixth grade, we had I went to Westview, which is when I was a kid, I went to all sorts of different schools. Westview is where Brian Fishbeck fell through the ceiling. I've told that story by year one. We were in study hall once, and was it study hall or was it social studies? I don't fucking remember. All I know is Mr. Halderson was the teacher, and we're in class, and Halderson's at the front, and it's like quiet study time, that thing where we're just kind of going through pages of notes or papers, and Mr. Halderson takes out a pack of cigarettes, and he puts a cigarette in his mouth, and he lights it in the classroom. He just absentmindedly did it, like that thing where for 30 years, that's the thing you've always done. You've always pulled out a pack of cigarettes, and you did that thing where you shake it up, you take one, you put it in your mouth. And then he went to light it. He didn't exactly light it. He had a lighter, and he went to pull it up to his mouth. And I remember all of us were kind of looking at him because we heard the snap of the lighter, and we kind of looked up, and he looked at us, and the cigarette's hanging out of his mouth. He's got a lighter in his hand, and you just saw this horrified face where he's just like, "What the fuck are you doing, Halderson?" He's so mad at himself, and he just kind of smirked to himself and just took the cigarette out, and put it back in his pack, and put it back in his pocket. So that's the vibe I have for you today, folks. I got a Halderson absentmindedly smoking vibe. So that's what I bring to the table as I sit here and I try to barrel through this. Because, again, I had an idea, folks. I had a glorious idea, a grand idea. It was so grand, I almost said glorious. It was gland. I had a gland idea, folks. Oh, my God. You know what my gland idea was? I won't tell you, but it led to a prostate shake. Oh, dude, do not order the prostate shake. I have no idea how that works, the prostate massage. I know where it is, sort of, but I don't know if I would. Look, I'm on board for anything at this point. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. I'm lost. I'm directionless. As I told you, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen next. I'm still waiting for that 60th birthday when I throw open the door and it's like, oh, there's everybody who left. That's not a bad idea. You guys should do that. You should all get together and make that happen. Make that plan happen. Really? That's it? I thought we were a half hour in already. Lily just held up a 10-minute sign at me because she wants me out of her house. She has so much work to do. Oh, my God. Lily has so much work to do. And I didn't help. Nah. Yeah, you did.
I said I have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I said, hey, can we do this? And you're just like, oh, my God, I have to edit this and edit that and then edit the other thing.
I wanted to sit and play Glory Days music with me.
Yeah, because that's fun.
Yes.
I like fun
I
stuff.
want to do that, but I have a job.
Oh, you and your mom jeans give me attitude. I don't like it. She wore mom jeans today, folks. What happened to Lily? God damn it. You know why? Because I get to see sexy Lily every Monday now, and then when I come here on Wednesday, she doesn't feel like she has to dress up for me.
Yeah, God forbid I should just be a normal person.
Look.
And not the glorious sex goddess that you get to fawn all over Monday.
Listen, you're an object. The sooner you get that through your brain,
That's right.
the better we'll all be. Maybe that's what we do for year 6. We christen you just as an object. Like you have to wear. I'll have to pick outfits for you, and you'll have to wear one. Yeah, I like that idea. Hold on, I get to pick your outfits for year 6. I like this plan. Things have changed. Things are changing, folks. Actually, things. You know what? If it holds, you'll be gone by the end of year 6. So I guess really picking your outfits don't really matter. That's not a thing that I should do because. Again, going with the consistency of the abandonment issues, you will be gone by the end of year 6. which I have no idea how this is going to happen then. I mean, because honestly, if you're gone, they're gone because they're not going to hear me. I mean, I'll be doing this certainly, but nobody will hear it. I'll just be doing it in my fucking apartment, staring. But that's if I have my apartment. Oh, folks, the walls, they're coming down. Um, and it's so funny, because Lily is my boss now. As you know, Lily has hired me to work as a bouncer at her club 2 nights a week. Um, and then I'll talk to her because I had an incident on Monday. Business Lily met Business Mike. That was not fun.
It was awesome.
No, you didn't care for Business Mike very much. Bouncer Mike, let's put it that way.
That is not true. I absolutely respected the fact that you handled the situation. You came to me and told me what happened, and we diffused everything.
Okay.
No problem.
All right, good. Well, but initially there was a thing. It doesn't matter. There was a guy came in, and I felt disrespected by that guy. But again, we're talking about me here. I mean, I'm disrespected by grocery clerks. I mean, I don't fucking. You're talking about a guy who's a little sensitive, folks. So everybody is a delight when they come to the show, and everybody's there to have a good time. And I try to be just the same way. But when I was a bouncer, this sort of happened too. When I got any iota of attitude at all from anyone, I just wanted to clothesline them. And I didn't, of course, because I'm not an animal. But you got that thing where you got your hackles up. Because again, I'm let's put it this way. I'm already freaked out that I'm working as a bouncer again. So you feel less than. So when someone comes in and then shits on you a little bit, you're kind of like, hey, motherfucker, I'm not just this. I'm this and I'm this and I'm that. And by the way, why don't I fucking hit you? And we'll show you exactly what the fuck I am. Which is not a good way to be. Because I'm just, literally at all times, I am a snowball on the edge of a cliff just waiting to get pushed downhill. And then when I go downhill, it's just going to be bad for anything and everything in my way. And that shouldn't be the case, obviously. So I try to be a nice person. And I wasn't mean to that person, but then I took Lily aside and I was like, hey, this is bad. And she's like, no, and here's why. And she explained to me why. And I go, yeah, but you don't know. And it was just this, it was just mental gymnastics on my part because I don't care for being disrespected, particularly in that capacity. Because again, you're just, as a bouncer, you're looked upon as an idiot anyway. You know what I mean? So, to have that happen, I'm tap dancing around this because I was wrong in the initial instance.
Wrong. He didn't give you the information that he should have given you for you to know what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, I just didn't care for when because let's put it this way. I told the guy that he had to do something, and he literally looked at his friends and goes, "Don't listen to him. I'm with Lily." And so as you all know, I don't do well with that sort of thing. So I wanted to just throw him the fuck out. I'm like, literally, I wanted to put him in a chicken wing and just drag him out the fucking door, which you can't do. As I've told myself over and over. You don't unless someone puts their hands on me or does something like that. There's no reason to do that, or if you're breaking up a fight. But just when some guy's just a dick to you, because I mean, I got so used to it, honestly, in Hollywood. This whole I think half of the people I dealt with in Hollywood, maybe even 3/4, were named "Don't you know who I am?" That was their name, or "I'm on the list." That was also another a famous name that people threw my way. They would just approach and I go, "Hi, can I help you? I'm on the list." Okay, well, I need your name and who put you on the list. Look, I just my name, and then go to walk past me. Like people just assume. Here's that thing: the worst thing that ever happened in the world of bouncers is people being told, well, just act like you're supposed to be there and everything will be fine. Because a guy will show up and he'll come up to the bouncer and be like, yeah, I'm on the list. And he'll go to walk right by you. And you put your arm out and you grab him and you're like, no, I have a list and we'll figure this out. Well, no, trust me. And you believe me, when this person finds out that you won't let me in, they're going to be so pissed. You know what I mean? That horse shit. And I'm like, look, I might be making fucking $10 an hour, but you're going to stand here with me and we're going to get through this together. That's what's going to happen. And that didn't happen at Lily's, but I mean, so far, in all the times that I've worked there, but in these other clubs and venues I've been at, it was just like every asshole in Hollywood is just like they're all playing dress up. Everybody's playing grown up movie person, and everybody's playing grown up Hollywood scenester, and everybody's playing grown up important guy. And by the way, when they are important, you are the least important part of their day, which I've never understood. I'm the fucking gatekeeper, Gozer. I mean, you've got to go ahead and negotiate with me to get past me if you want the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to stormtroop this fucking city. You need to sit here and cooperate. If you want to be the keymaster, you got to recognize that you need to respect the gatekeeper, because that's just the case. It's just the way it works, huh? I thought you said you hated me. I was like, because I'm being serious. Well, because guys will walk up to the door and they act like shit, and it's like, dude, I'm the guy you got to be nice to. You understand that, right? And also, by the way, no matter how fucking nice you are, if you're not on the list, you're not getting in. I don't give a fuck. You're just not. That's not happening. And it's funny because Lily's place is, Lily is business Lily, but at the same time she's friendly with everybody. So they all come in and they're like, oh yeah, I know Lily, right this, right that. So I unfortunately have to call Lily over and she has to okay or not okay people. And there's been nobody that she hasn't okayed yet, which is I'm waiting for that day. I can't wait for that day. I actually want to see that when you're just like, no, they can't come in, and I'm just like, I can't come in, and then I just want to see what unfolds at that point. I don't know what a burlesque fight would even be like. I don't know. It'd just be like, I'll just fucking, I got to develop like a finishing move, like a special sequin pile driver or something. I got to figure something out for people. I threw you in a feather boa chokehold. I don't want to hit anybody, folks. I'm old. I'm fucking old. But here it is, last day of school. I'm imbued with youth. I'm imbued with the feeling of youth as it is the last day of school, and I know I'm escaping, and I'm off for the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks. There will be something up next week, but it won't be me. Well, I mean, I'll be on it. It seems how funny would it be if it wasn't me? We just put on next week. What if you tune in next week and it was just 3 Hall & Oates songs? Like we just strung them together. 3 actual songs from Hall & Oates.
I'm in.
Well, no, I'll make you edit them in some weird thing. Yeah, that's right. You can't just throw up Hall & Oates songs. You got to throw your English on it. You got to throw your Lily on it. What if it was Mex and Oates? Oh my God, how about that? What if I got Oates somehow to team up with Mex and they did a song? That'd be genius. And they did like Schmitty Smile. Oh my God, what if fucking Mex and Oates did a bunch of fucking Mike Schmidt songs? God damn it. He's a Schmidt eater. All right, so oh, here he comes. Watch out, boy. Watch out, boy. She's a Schmidt eater. All right, so
Oh my God.
say it isn't Schmidt. All right,
Oh.
come on, that's awesome. It's the method of modern Schmidt.
No, stop. Stop the Schmidt sanity.
I can't. Oh, look at you, Susan Powder, Schmitty Powder. All right. She's still around too, right? I think she found Jesus. She's one of those idiots who, like, for 2 years she tried to rip you off by selling you exercise equipment, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, you know what? I fucked up. You guys should just eat vegetables." Like, I hate those fucking assholes who do everything they can to capitalize, and then when that run of fame ends, then they're just like, "Oh, it's like Montel Williams." Montel Williams is a guy who had talk shows and he had all these things, and then he went and he became an exploitive dick. You know what I mean? He was one of those dudes who's like, "I'm going to put on some white supremacists, and then I'm going to get in their face because we're on my show." And all right, good for you. And you know what he's doing now? He's selling me juice like in the middle of the night, under the guise of, I learned a lot of things in my career in television, and one thing I did learn was the benefits of spinach. Fuck you, Montel, you dick. So he went from sitting there talking to the Hells Angels to trying to get me to fucking jam spinach into a fan. Fuck you. Because that's all a juicer is. It's a goddamn upside-down fan. Really, it's a fucking oscillating fan that's turned on its edge, and you jam spinach in it and hope to get some fucking liquid out of it. And then he trots out some fat kid, and the kid's like, "I love juice too." Oh, shut the fuck up, kid. God damn it. And that kid's more famous than Montel these days. And didn't Montel have like some ridiculous disease? Like Montel, it was one of those things where he's like, I'm exploiting everyone in America, and I have a show where I'm yelling at people. And then all of a sudden he got like spina bifida out of nowhere. I think it manifested itself out of the tumor that he'd had on his credibility for years. And now, in the middle of the night, that guy wants to sell me beats. Get the fuck out of here. God damn it. Doesn't anybody stop being famous and go away? Go away, motherfuckers. Everybody wants to sell me fucking, like, saddlebags or goddamn shrubs or seeds. Like, there's the Burpee Seed Company, and they dig up some fucking... I can't wait till the fucking Jersey Shore idiots are selling me some grill in the middle of the fucking night. God damn it. And I know, believe me, there's no, when you're famous or when when you get paid, I've said it before, there's no greater privilege than to be paid to be yourself. Unfortunately, I don't like who they are. I don't like who those people are. They're fucking terrible people. They shouldn't be paid to be themselves. It's like this idiot from MTV that, what was it? They did a Jersey Shore show, but in the wilds of Kentucky or some bullshit. And then the breakout star, which believe me, never before has that phrase ever been used more inappropriately than describe somebody from Buck Wild on MTV. And the only reason I know the name of the show is because the guy fucking ate it this week. And they said he died because at 2 a.m, he and his friends were going four-wheeling in the mud. And then they got trapped in the mud, and then they fell asleep in the truck, and then the carbon monoxide went into the tank, into the actual truck and killed them. And my favorite part is the people at MTV had to pretend like they were concerned. That was because they didn't give a fuck. They were just like, oh well, I guess we better find another part of the country to send cameras to film idiots. I'm sure every single one of them, when they were told, hey, the breakout star of Buck Wild died in his truck mudding at 2:00 in the morning, they were just like, I wish you would have just held off another year, Because then we could have had one great wrap-up funeral show at the end and still gotten an extra year of content out of it. And I'm sure there was one executive who just went, why couldn't this have happened to Johnny Knoxville? It would have been so great. For years, those guys have been hitting each other in the nuts with putters, and they fucking survive. But this idiot drives into the mud and fucking eats it and falls asleep. That's the best death ever. He went out mudding at 2 a.m, fell asleep in his truck, and died from carbon monoxide poisoning. That's not exactly war hero shit, folks. Why am I making fun of that guy? He's dead. How did I even get on this? And why am I making fun of this guy? Because I got to be honest with you, if those people at MTV offered me a job on Buck Wild as being the idiot who drove around in the mud, are you fucking kidding me? I'd do it in a second. Like, I used to be choosy and picky about jobs in this fucking town. Like I told you, I turned down commercial work because it was like, Jimmy Pardo said it best to me one time. He goes, dude, you're not a stooge. And so in my head, I've always had that in my head. I'm like, hey, man, you know what? I'm not a stooge. But if someone came up to me and said, hey, dude, we wrote the Mike Schmidt fat guy without a shirt hour. Sign me up. I'm in. What's it pay? I got bills. Done. I think 45 is the magical age where you realize, you know what? It's not getting any better. It's not getting any better. And you're not getting any younger. You're not getting any younger. And she's not coming back. She's not coming back. So why not just fucking ruin everything? Go ahead. Why not drive in the mud at 2:00 in the morning and hope for the sweet release of death? Go ahead. Do it. No. No, that's not happening because I think we all know how much I hate mud. I don't like dirt. But yeah, that's what I need. If somebody comes along and offers me some fat idiot show, I turned down a fucking Coors commercial because I'd be in a Speedo and nothing else. And this is 500-pound Mike. 500-pound Mike in a Speedo would have answered the door. And literally, like, my line was like, yes. And I said, nah, I can't do it because, I mean, that's just like too much. And guess what? And then my agent dropped me, and here we are today, folks. Yay. Because you don't turn down money. You're not supposed to turn down money in this town. I mean, you can once you've established yourself. You know what I mean? But you're supposed to take all the other bullshit. I mean, wasn't Brad Pitt in like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie or something? Like always, oh no, it was McConaughey. What's McConaughey in? Like all those dudes, they always have that thing from their past. Like John Travolta scrubbing it up in some Right Guard commercial from 1960, and everybody's like, ha ha. I'm like, dude, he still got paid to be on TV. What the fuck are you making fun of him for? Things change when you get old and poor. Because I only got 15 more years till that party. God, I want that to happen so bad. Except if I wasn't dying at 54, it would be a great plan. That's why nobody will give me a job. They know I'm going to be dead in 9 years. They're like, oh, we can't count any long-term stuff out of this dude. And especially, I'll tell you what, now that he knows about the truck and the mud, he might go out a lot sooner. He might not even wait till 54. I have to be at least till 50 because I have to finish out this show. I literally, I've got to get through my 40s and have the 40-year-old boy happen. And then when we hit 50, that's it. We're done. Why are you making a face?
You are ADD.
Why?
You're like crazy.
What's that mean?
Because you have to make it to 50 to quit because it has to be an even number.
Yeah, it does. There's no doubt about that. Because, I mean, this is the 40-year-old boy, so it's got to go through all my 40s. And then, I've always made the joke when people are like, hey, why didn't you change it to the 41-year-old boy, the 42-year-old boy? And it's like, well, because that aesthetically doesn't work, and I'm not going to change the logo, and it makes more sense to just be the 40-year-old boy. So I'll get through my 40s. But the second I turn 50, we're done. I mean, I got to do something.
Is the 50-year-old boy going to happen?
No, are you kidding me? Holy shit. If I'm still...
50-year-old teenager?
What am I, fucking Mike Funicello? That's not fucking happening. Mikey Avalon? Mike Clark? Every other old person from the 50s? And then Funicello just died.
I know.
Yeah. And you know what she had? Spina bifida out of nowhere. God damn it. You know why? Because she made out with fucking Montel Williams. She came and did a show and he kissed her and he passed it off verbally. Not verbally. With his lips, with his mouth, with his tongue. Oh, the tongue of Montel Williams. That silver-tongued devil with his fucking spina bifida in place. That's right. Montel Williams killed Annette Funicello with a kiss. That's my theory. Wow, I need to fucking focus. All right. You know what's funny? Because I don't know what I'm going to say. I show up and I talk, and whatever comes out, comes out. And that leads to people being worried. I was in San Francisco this past week. And our friend Sylvester, who's a friend of the show, who, by the way, Sylvester, because we all know that I've kind of hit the wall here. So Sylvester reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, dude, I know that things are tight and whatever, but if you want to come to San Francisco when you're up here, if you want to stay with me, I have a pretty big house and that would be cool." And and that was really nice of him to reach out. And I actually wrote him and I go, "I think I'm going to take you up on this, dude. I mean, this is probably going to happen." And don't think I didn't dread every second of it. Don't think I didn't sit. Once I even sent, I didn't want to hit send. I literally typed out the response telling him that I would take him up on that offer. And I shrunk the screen and I didn't send it for like 4 hours. Like, cause I tried every piece of mental gymnastics I could to get myself out of staying at Sylvester's house because I'm sure Sylvester's a nice man and he would leave me alone. But it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter because inevitably I would walk out in a pair of boxer briefs into his living room and Sylvester would somehow have like a bridge club that I didn't know about. And then, oh my gosh, look what just happened. It would be, what it'd be like? You know the scene in Pulp Fiction where they're having the flashback and they're showing Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta carrying the body out and then Bonnie walks in and Tarantino's just like, that's what it would be like. Anytime I would stay at any of your houses, whenever you offer me to stay at your house, know at some point there will be a Bonnie situation when I show up at your place. We'll call it the Schmitty situation. Instead of like, because it's called the Bonnie situation. Like you gotta appreciate how explosive this Bonnie situation really is. All right, think of that phrase, but make it the Schmitty situation every time you decide to offer me a place to stay in your town. Because it's coming, man. I might have to fugazi these fucking tours and wind up giving up the hotel and just do like theaters and stay at people's houses. We got to recognize just how explosive this Schmitty situation is going to be. Oh, man. Because, I mean, I don't think you guys are ready for fucking, 4 a.m. Schmitty eating chocolate bars and just fucking flipping channels all night long. And you're just like, wait a second. I got myself into this because I actually offered it, right? Because I'm a vampire. Don't invite me into your house, motherfucker. Do not invite me into your house because I will come in and I will wreak fucking havoc. I will Ramon the shit out of your house. Still haven't heard back from those people, by the way. Literally, that was my rock bottom. Called them, have not heard back. And I want to follow up call them, and yet I don't. Like, part of me doesn't want to. And I'm at the situation now where I have a landline in my house, and I'm looking for any way to strip down fucking what I owe and the money I'm gonna have to give. So I'm thinking about shutting down my landline. But part of me is like, you can't because you might get the sex vampire job. Like literally, that's where it's gone with my life at this point. I'm like, I would love to save that $65 a month. However, I don't think I'm going to be able to because I need to keep that line open for men who want to call me in the middle of the night and have me talk about their ass. I mean, just Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? How many times can I describe my cock in the middle of the night to a guy and not get paid for it? Oh man, when it gets quiet, it gets fucking quiet, folks. Let me tell you that.
Oh my god.
So, where were we? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, so I was talking about my friend Sylvester who wants me to stay at his place, and good for him. Thankfully, he wanted to offer me the thing. But then last week I had a meeting with the Special Thing Records. Did I mention this on the show? I think I told you in person. But I had a meeting with the guys from Special Thing. I talked to Matt and Ryan, and they were really nice when we sat down to talk about the taping and how it was going to work. And Matt sent me an email, and he's like, hey, by the way, you need to bring the expenses so we can cut you a check. And I didn't know what that meant. And so I wrote him, and I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, well, like your trip, your flight, the theater, all that kind of stuff. Because I paid for everything. I paid for it out of pocket. He's like, yeah, you got to let us know what that was so we can reimburse you. And dudes, if you would have seen my face like light up like a fucking pinball machine because I went, wait a minute, I have money coming because that's right now. Unfortunately, that's where I'm at. I walk. When you see me on the street, I walk with my head down, Michael Cera from Arrested Development style. Like that, that really sad, like kind of walk away. But recognize it's for two reasons. One, because I'm sad and I don't want to make eye contact with any other human being. And two, I'm looking for dimes.
Oh my god.
I wish that weren't true. But I have my eyes open for anything shiny on the ground and I will fucking fight anyone for it.
Oh my god.
I'm looking into getting enough money to save to buy a nice enough mask that I can wear so I can run by and steal guitar cases filled with change. That's how I'll get back into shape, folks. Busker robberies. I will swoop down on anybody with a saxophone on Hollywood Boulevard and steal their hat full of nickels. That's right. There's not a hatful of nickels safe in this town from fucking Busker Robber. I need a more catchy name than that. Busker Robber? God damn it. Just put on a fucking luchador mask and run around stealing change from hobos? I'm in. I'll never have to go to Craigslist again. Just fat dude in luchador mask who runs around and fucking steals change out of guys' fucking cups. Yeah! Take that, street Mozart. You woke up this morning in your hovel and you grabbed your banjo and your hat and you thought you were going to come back with a fucking jingling pocket full of money to survive on? I don't think so. Luchador mask and Busker Robber swoops in and takes your hard-earned gains. Oh, Crashed by the Dave Matthews Band? You think that's going to earn you $8? Doesn't matter because it's coming home with me. Ha ha. Do I go cape? Do I go cape or just luchador mask? I gotta go just mask.
I think.
Although there's something to be said for taking cape and throwing it over your face Dracula style, like, woof, that's pretty fun. But I might trip on a cape. Wait, hold on. That would happen too. Busker Robber's gonna trip on a cape. I need to be sleek. I need to go clean. You said no shirt?
No shirt, just a cape and a mask.
Ah, fuck all that. Because then it's too easy. Like, it's the fattest guy on earth. Well, let's go find Mike. I mean, literally, they will totally bust me at that point. No, I got to go luchador mask, and I'll wear like a scuba suit or something. I think I need a whole outfit. I got to be like Kick-Ass. That's what I'll be. I'll be like Kick-Ass, but instead of fucking keeping people safe, I'm just stealing change from people who are singing on the street. I love it because nobody likes guys who sing on the street for change. Well, hey, do I incorporate? Let's put it this way: do I steal money just from the guys who sing on the street, or do I incorporate in the human statue as well? Do I take his money? Fucking human statue's going down because he can't chase me. It betrays the whole ideal that he's trying to portray on the street, for fuck's sake. He's a human statue. That man took an oath. He took an oath to stand still no matter what the fuck happened, even if a fucking busker buster comes by and steals all of his change. That's right. I'm a busker buster. That's the name. Fuck busker robber. Busker buster works better. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm cleaning house. Anybody on the street who's trying to fucking walk around and get change for nothing, anybody who doesn't put any effort into what they do, fuck you, luchador mask, sleek reverse kick-ass busker buster, shows up and takes all your cash. Yes! I need money for a luchador mask. I need seed money for Busker Buster. Who's stepping up? God damn it, I'm so broke now. I got nothing. I need at least the mask. I need the luchador mask. We'll worry about the costume later. We need you guys to go ahead. I'm soliciting right now. I need you to pay for this luchador mask so I can go out and steal from people who don't deserve the money. Guys on the street. Come on, how many times you walk past those idiots playing drums on a fucking crazy can? Or like, you ever see those guys with an upside down bucket and they're playing drums? And sure, they're good. They're not bad. They're making a good noise, but I don't want to see you in your Cosby Kids band. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Rudy's got an electric guitar. He's got the right idea, but the other guy with the fucking hot water bottle on a radiator, you're fired. You're out of the band, man. Busker Buster swoops in with his luchador mask and steals all your shitty instruments. See, this is what I'm going to be doing next year. This is the plan. I'll get the luchador mask and I'll go out and busker bust and steal all the change while you're listening to Mex and Oats during year 6. All of year 6 is just Mex and Oats. Here doing fucking songs. You know that I'm out stealing change from guys on the street. I love it. Fucking Mex and Oats in here doing fucking Private Schmidt. Private Schmidt. He's watching you. Yeah. Yes, it's perfect. Why are you shitting on my plans? It's the last day of school. It's the time to dream big. I don't want to come back in 2 weeks. I don't feel tardy. All right. Why are you rocking back and forth? You have an ill stomach? You actually have a sick stomach from this story. Oh, speaking of traumatized, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Dude, there is a gigantic bug in here. There's a gigantic... That's a bat. That's not even a bug. That's a fucking bat.
It's the moth that's coming to get you.
Did you say the moth is back? Did you know that was in your house?
No, the moth is coming to get you. The podcast.
Oh, I thought you said the moth is back. Like he lives here like he's a pet. Sit down. Why are you up?
I was going to catch it and release it.
You're going to kill it?
No, I'm not going to kill it.
You're joking.
No, what is it going to do? Is it going to swoop down and bite you? It's a moth.
It might. It's a bat. It's fucking huge. It's got a wingspan like a dinner plate. What is wrong with you? That looked like a hubcap with fucking like a hang gliding equipment. It's going to come after me.
Jesus Christ.
Does Jamie Gum live in your building?
No. Yes. Yes, he does.
Oh, wait. Is she a great big fat person?
Oh, my God.
I didn't realize you had house guests from Suriname. They found a seed pod or a cocoon, a bug cocoon in Frederica Bimmel's throat, and then they delivered it to your house, the oldest building in Hollywood.
Yes.
Jamie Gum lives on your floor.
Jamie Gum lives in my basement.
No, he doesn't. Catherine Martin lives in the basement. Jamie Gum lives a floor above. And I'll tell you what, Catherine Martin better put the lotion on her skin. She does this whenever she's told. I apologize. It puts the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told because you don't want to give it any sort of an identity.
Jesus Christ, you're insane.
I'm insane. You've got a fucking, like a pterodactyl living in your house and you don't fucking freak out about it.
It's a moth.
It flew right at my head. It flew right at my head and I freaked out and you just started laughing. You're like, ha ha, jerk. You're going to get bitten in the eye by a fucking hairy Suriname moth. The death's head moth. You know what? Maybe you're Jamie Gum. Do you stand up? Are you doing the tuck? Do you got fucking Catherine Martin in a well somewhere?
Yes.
God, you hate me so much right now. You fucking hate me.
I'm just laughing because I can't believe you're scared of a moth.
I don't like bugs. Let me ask you something. You've been here through most of year 5. What made you think that I had any sort of affinity or affection for bugs ever?
It's not an affection or an affinity. It's just a moth. It's not.
You say it's just a moth. I heard it go by. I'm guaranteeing you people, if rewind it, folks, rewind the show, and you'll hear, because it fucking totally flapped by.
Yes.
I think there were 2 mice on that moth. I think you're filming The Rescuers Part 2 in your building.
No, I didn't.
God, you're so sick of me. God, you're so dismissive in your tone.
I can't believe that you're that scared of a moth.
I don't like bugs.
It's not a bug. It's a moth.
Even worse, you know what that is? A bug with the power of flight. Holy shit! That's like if you crossed a roach with a bird. That's what you're looking at right now, and you're like, yeah, that's great. I can't wait to put it in a plastic container and take it outside for a sandwich. What the fuck? It's a goddamn bug. Murder it. Because I guarantee you, if it had the chance, it would murder you.
Okay.
If I wasn't here, you're lucky I'm here. Because if you were alone, that thing would totally fucking get you like the Dowland Trilogy of Terror. It would totally back you into a corner. It would fucking attack you, and then you'd throw it in an oven and try to cook it, and then its essence would go inside of you, and you'd turn into a giant moth and wait for Eddie to show up. It's a good thing I'm here.
Okay.
Fuck all that. I cannot believe you're fucking making fun of me. That looked like a frisbee with legs.
I just think it's ridiculous.
It's gigantic.
Yes, it is. You're right.
I thought Captain America threw his shield at me. Holy shit, that thing's monstrous. That was like a fuzzy plane. But you're cool with it. It's gigantic and it's flying around.
So I'm not scared of it.
It's like a gigantic fuzzy thing with wings. You know what it is? It's like Oates' mustache took flight. Mex and Oates' mustache took flight and came after me. I can't go for Schmidt. No. No can do.
Oh my god.
We have to make Mex and Oates a reality just because. All right. If that thing comes out again, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I don't know where it went.
I know you will.
Yes, I am. I'm losing it now because you know why? Now it flew behind me, so I know it's going to like crawl up on my shoulder.
It's over there by the broadcast stuff.
I won't even see it. You know what's going to happen? I'm just going to get lifted into the air. I will, like fucking Mira Sorvino and Mimic.
I will tell you, I will feel really bad if it dive bombs you though.
Oh my God! What if it goes in my ear? Holy shit! And they got to pull a moth. You know that happened to Eddie Van Halen. You know that you know that happened to Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen was asleep in a hotel, and then he woke up and he was in like great pain. They had to rush him to the hospital. They pulled a moth out with fucking forceps. He had a moth birth out of his ear. He squeezed out a moth baby from his fucking genius ear, his Eddie Van Halen ear.
Okay.
That's what led the man to drink. Literally, that destroyed the band Van Halen because I'll bet he still is traumatized in the middle of the night. Whenever he hears a buzzing noise, he knows that a motherfucking tire with wings is going to fly into his head.
Okay.
I'm glad you're not bothered. You're so lucky I'm here because otherwise you would be dead. It would land on your face and steal your soul. All right. The fuck was I talking about? See, if I had my mask on, I wouldn't be scared. If I was Busker Buster right now with my mask on, I wouldn't be frightened because it couldn't hurt me. But it can hurt Mike. That fucking thing can hurt Mike Schmidt, but it can't hurt Busker Buster. Nothing can hurt Busker Buster. I literally have my head on a swivel, like looking around. All right. Don't look over there, because now you're freaking me out.
Moth swatter. There's nothing I can
No, you don't have a moth swatter. What did you get? A paper towel and a Tupperware container, because you're going to gently place it in there, and then put in some grass so it can eat?
I mean, it's
Kill it.
Why?
Because otherwise it'll come back. Sometimes they come back. Stephen King told us that.
Okay.
This is you know what you are? You're like the people in Walking Dead who like are like sad for the zombies and stuff. Dude,
I would
you got to kill everything.
zombie like this.
Yes, but then there's other people there who come and like threaten them, and they're like, "Oh, we got to negotiate with these dudes." No, you don't. Murder everybody. This fucking the zombie apocalypse world should be littered with the bodies of the dead and the previously living. That's it. Kill them all. Everybody dies in the zombie apocalypse. It's not even a fucking issue. That's like in this fucking show I'm watching, and I can't stop watching Walking Dead because I'm invested. But Jesus Christ, like the little kid is the smartest one because now he's like, we got to kill everybody, Dad. And his dad's like, well, son, we've got to have a little chat. No, we don't have to have a chat. Fuck the governor. Fuck everybody from Woodbury. Everybody dies, man. Lay them the fuck out. Kill everyone.
Everybody dies.
And then start on the moths. What is a moth but a flying zombie? Kill it.
It doesn't bite you.
It totally eats brains. How do you know? Your moth hasn't landed on you yet. Because right now he's getting you used to him. You're getting acclimated. He's like flying around and you're like, oh, you know what? He's kind of cute. Maybe I'll let him stay. And then you go to sleep and what happens? Your fucking medulla gets oblongated.
Oh.
That fucking moth winds up in your cerebral cortex and turns you into like a giant moth person. And then I come to the fucking Friday night happy hour on Friday to work, and I see it in your eyes, and nobody will believe me, but I can see crazy moth in your eyes. And I'm like, dude, that's not the Lily I know. That's fucking moth Lily. And they're going to like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I go, don't close the doors because we're all going to die. And then like Carrie, you're going to raise your hands in the air. All the doors are going to slam, and then a fucking bucket of moths are going to fucking pour out on everybody on stage. And they'll eat all of our clothes and then all of our brains.
Oh my god.
Why are you cool with a moth in your house? Kill it.
Oh.
Just fucking kill it. If anything that's alive that doesn't live with you gets in your house, kill it. Seriously, a puppy, a fucking, I don't care, a cow, a goat. If it doesn't belong in your house, murder it. Murder it. If you're in your house, this is where you live. This is your sanctuary, okay? So it's supposed to be you and Eddie and occasionally me when I'm a guest. However, you know what? And actually, I'll put it this way. I'm supposed to be here on Wednesdays to record. If I show up on a Sunday, kill me. I'm not kidding. Murder me. I don't belong in your house. Anything that doesn't belong in your house at that moment gets killed. That's the way we should run our lives. There'd be a lot less crime. If you're in your house and nobody else belongs in there and then somebody just wanders in, a fucking UPS guy or a mailman or some neighbor, murder them. They don't belong in your house. I'm just trying to get you around to my way of thinking so we can kill this goddamn moth.
Traumatized you.
Yeah, I don't like moths. I don't like bugs, period. Any kind of bug. I have a problem with two legs. Oh my God, how weird would a moth with two legs be? Oh, dude, think about that. That's going to happen if it bites you.
Moths do not bite.
You say that now.
I say that because
You say that until the moment the moth bites you, and then you're like, Mike was right. And then you all of a sudden manifest yourself and turn into and wings grow out of your back. And then it's like you're totally sexy, and you're like a moth with big boobs, but so what? Who wants to sleep with you at that point? Nobody, except other moth people.
oh my god.
Is that what you want? You want to be fucked by nothing but moth people for the rest of your life? Then let him live. Go ahead. Fall asleep with that motherfucking Cessna in your house. Literally, it's a Cessna in a throw rug. And you're going to go to sleep. It's going to bite your brain. You're going to turn into a moth person and never have sex again. Good for you. That's your future. I hope you're happy about it.
I am.
Glad you're looking forward to that.
I am.
I'm going to see you Friday night, and everybody's going to be like, where's Lily? And oh, she was here earlier. And they're going to go check in the back, Mike. I'm going to go back there and just a cocoon. Just a big cocoon on the ground. And you turn into like a ravenous butterfly woman. And you come out and fucking chew on everybody. Oh, Christ. This is awful. This is a terrible, terrible thing. All right.
No idea.
I don't. What was I talking about before
Not a clue.
that falcon swooped into your house? Really, literally, I don't know because that was just horrifying.
Busker robbing, Mexan Oats, Montel Williams.
You're just Montel Williams. Yes, let's go back to the Montel Williams discussion. I know everybody right now. People at home are just like, I was waiting for him to get back to Montel Williams, throwing cucumbers into a propeller in the middle of the night to make super juice to get over his lupus. Whatever the fuck he's got. Fuck you, Montel, you jagoff. Trying to convince me to throw kale into a fucking saw blade. A bandsaw? He wants me to throw kale into a bandsaw and drink what comes out the other end. I don't think so, Montel.
Oh.
You and your fucking DTs or whatever it is you got. All right. I literally, I don't know. I have no idea. I should just gangster through it because, I mean, folks, if I talk about something I already talked about, fuck me. Because, I mean, I'm here waiting to die. That's all I'm doing at this moment is I'm waiting for this fucking creature to come back from the bookcase wherever the fuck it's hiding. All right. You know, the problem is there's no other lights. Usually when I come to Lily's house, every light in the goddamn joint is on. And right now there's only 2 lights on, and they're both in the kitchen. That's why this thing's in here. That and it wants to eat us. I can't. I'm listening for the rustle of wings. It's gonna happen.
Now you got me concerned.
Yeah. See, now you're up and about. You're taking around.
There
You're
are
looking.
other lights on.
Oh.
You're crazy. You're moth crazy. Oh.
It heard that I called out the moth, though. That's why, remember? Said, I'm changing the game, moth. And this moth's like, fuck you, pal. Took a year and a half, but we finally found you. What if it was? What if it was an emissary sent from the Moth podcast to take me out? What if podcasts did that? What could we send to kill people? We don't have anything. Because everybody else has like a group thing. We got just me and you.
Children.
Control
the minds of children.
Oh, no kids want to listen to me. Although you don't you, I'm trying. I'm having a fun game now when I go to the Monday Night Teas, trying to guess which strippers have kids. Look, I won't lie. It's not just a Monday Night Teas game. It's something I've done at strip clubs my entire life. But you always try to think about what, you know, if they have a kid and then what that kid is doing at that moment. Because I'll tell you what, I've seen enough porn online now where you can actually see the C scars on chicks, like the C-section scars. And so you're like, all right, well, she's got a kid. And then you're like, oh, and then this is happening to her. Oh, that's just awful. I mean.
Yes, life happens to women and it's just awful, isn't it?
Well, no, having a kid is fine. But what I'm saying is when you see some girl doing porn with a C-section scar, then you just go, oh, now, you know, when you have it. Because look, once you have a kid, you would hope that you didn't have to blow Max Hardcore. I mean, seriously, honestly, you in your mind, you're thinking, oh my God, I finally have experienced the wonder of childbirth. I don't have to have a 75-year-old grandpa fist me on camera.
Oh my God!
Seriously. What is that? Is that not a goal you should have? Are you thinking when you have your kid, you're like, finally, now I can go beat Max Hardcore? No, of course not. That's not what you want. If you have your kid, you should be able to turn in your Max Hardcore card and never have to fucking go over there and see the old man. But now, whenever I see some old girl who's getting fucking, some guy spitting in her eye, and I'm like, oh, that's unfortunate. Because you know what? Huh?
Why are you over at Max Hardcore?
Well, no, it's just that's all over the web. I mean, you can just see that shit anywhere. Look, I have news for you. You don't have to just go to Max Hardcore's website to find people see Max Hardcore being mean to people. It's actually spread throughout there. I actually saw it at Bloomberg News. Oh my God. That porn creep is getting a little strong for the web, in my opinion. You all right? You spit soda? All right, swallow it down.
Oh, fuck. I hate you.
I heard that at Max Hardcore too, by the way. Yeah, that's where I saw Bloomberg News. It was like a rundown. They were talking about the austerity measures in Greece, and then Max Hardcore showed up and spit in the newscaster's face. He put his thumb in her mouth and yanked her jaw open. Oh, it was fantastic. That's an attractive old man. Kill that dude. You know what that dude needs? A moth in his house. Fuck Max Hardcore. I don't get that. I'll go to 4chan and it'll be like, you know, and look, 4chan's a terrible place. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Because, you know, never mind. But again, I have nothing to do because it's quiet and it's late. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to go stare at this. It's either that or what I could go to. Because, you know, it's funny. Porn used to be so simple. When you were a guy, you'd be like, hey, I'll go to the Hun and, you know, whatever, the Hun.net, and you just look at a bunch of fucking clips. But now I'll go to 4chan and then I'll see GIFs and then I'll wind up over here. And then there'll be a thread where you're like, hey, what's your favorite motherless video? And then I'll go over there and that's, dude, you don't want to get lost there. All right, never mind. I got to shut up. Jesus Christ. I really got to shut up. You know why? Because our friend Zelda, we have a friend named Zelda who lives in Canada. And whenever I say anything and then I go, oh, don't do that, she does it. Like she just goes and runs and does it immediately. Like right now, I'm pretty worried that she's got moths in her house. Like I think Zelda went and she just bought a handful of moths and let her loose in her house just because I said, no, you don't want that to happen. Zelda, she's like a child. She's like a little kid. Like you tell her not to do something and she does it. So, God, you know, I'm I feel like a boxer just kind of rope-a-doping because I don't remember what we were talking about.
No clue.
Look, the last thing I remember, I was donning a luchador mask and stealing loose change from guys who perform in the street. And then I almost died. That's all I remember about this show. This is the last day of school. You know what's funny? That would be a fitting end to year 5. I was killed by an insect on the air because of the bed bugs and everything else. It would be like literally that would be the total revenge of the bugs that they get, and anything flying. Because remember, I had that bird who flew at me, and then I had bugs, and now they've combined into one evil fucking bug bird hybrid. And they've come after me in the last show of year 5. They're like, oh my God. And you know what's funny? They were probably here last week. And then they heard me right in the beginning say, hey, this is going to be the last show of year 5. And they left. Like the fucking moths. They took off. They were outside the front door and they went, oh, no. Or actually, they may have been here for a fucking week waiting for me. Oh, that's even worse. You know those moths watch you while you sleep? Dude, you're totally sleeping. And those moths, they walk on you and then they just stare in your eyes, waiting for you to open them. And then they fly away. You don't think bugs can be creepy? Yeah, but you don't think they make the conscious decision to be creepy. You're like, oh, there's a spider on me. That's creepy. You don't think that spider all day was going, I cannot wait to fucking crawl on her. It's going to be hysterical.
No, because I'm not narcissistic.
Bugs make those decisions all the time. I'm disappointed that you don't see the potential and creepiness for bugs. Let me put it this way: if the bugs that you so casually dismiss are capable of the sentient thought that I think they are, there would never be a moment that they weren't thinking about crawling on you. It's like when dogs want to eat. Dogs just want to eat. That's all they would think about is eat, eat, eat. Bugs are just going, oh, I can't wait to crawl on a human and freak them out. More specifically, I can't wait to crawl on Lily and freak her out. See? How weird is that? If a bug had an agenda and part of that agenda was climbing on you. Actually, what if that was all the bug's agenda was? What if bugs were being raised from pupa into larvae into actual bugs just to come after you? See? Changes the game a little bit. Now kill that moth. Now that moth's not so cute. Now your Tupperware doesn't look like anything you want to fucking handle. Now you want to get a shotgun and blow that motherfucker away. Because you realize it's been raised since birth to come after you. That moth's got your name on it. I'm just trying to protect you, Lily. This kind of shit won't happen in year 6 when Mex and Oates are running this show. I'm off running around stealing Kennedy $50, and Mex and Oates are here singing, they Schmidt it, they Schmidt it, they Schmidt it in a minute. I swear to, all right. Well, I was in San Francisco last week. Let's fucking talk about that for a second. Oh, didn't this start with Sylvester? See, my friend. All right, good. And this isn't even going to be worth it. Like literally nothing. Not that any of this has been worth it, quite frankly. So the point I was trying to make was that I do this show, and I just talk, and like fucking anything comes out of my head. So then when people meet me, they're like really nice, and you know, people meet me and they're like, wow, you're just like us. You're like a kind of a normal guy, and it's fun, and we get along. Until I talk to them about until the moth shows up, and then they're like, you're not like me at all. I could not be less interested in hanging out with you. Yeah, but if you see a fucking moth the size of a sparrow come after you, don't look at me for help. I think in that last sentence I was going to say the word interested, and my tongue went on strike. Like, I want to rewind it and hear it. Like, you guys, I'm sure all you guys are like, what the fuck was that? I meant to say I could not be less interested, but I think I just went, and I bet right when it happened, everybody went, the moth got him. Like, right when it said, moth got your tongue? So people meet me and they're like, they're very nice, and they help me out and they reach out. Sylvester wanted me to stay at his house, which was cool. So Sylvester and I wound up in the car, and he started telling me some stuff about his life, and nothing like that would be damaging in any way. Sort of. It's not, I'm not Gil Martin. You know, I didn't get in his car, and then all of a sudden Sylvester started confessing his darkest secrets to me. But we were having a conversation about something, and he told me some stuff, and that was fine. And And literally today I got a text from Sylvester and he's like, hey, man, it was because I wrote him to thank him for everything because he picked me up at the airport last week in San Francisco and he had offered to let me stay at his house. And then he came out to the show and he actually picked the restaurant where we went and ate after the show. I'll get to that in a minute. But so Sylvester was integral to the success of my trip to San Francisco. So thank you. But sure enough, he wrote me a text today and in it said, I should just read it. No, I won't because even that's probably too much. He's like, hey, man, my pleasure. It was great seeing you. I can't wait till you come back. Hey, by the way, that conversation we had in the car is kind of off limits. I'd rather you didn't say anything about it. But, you know, I'm just kind of kidding, but I'm really, no, really, seriously, I'm not kidding. Please don't say anything that I said. And I don't know what I'm more upset about. The fact that everybody thinks I'm this leaky faucet who's going to spit out their personal business on the goddamn microphone for all to hear. Or the fact that Sylvester thinks anything he said in the car was interesting enough for me to include it in my show. Seriously, I mean, I am a professional comedian and I bring you stories that are humorous or interesting. And Sylvester, all you did was tell me some stuff, man. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to be a show. I literally, when I got those nuggets from you in your car, I was not taking notes and going, I can't wait. Here's the showstopper this week. All of this inside information about Sylvester in his car. Please. No offense to you. But start your own podcast if you think you've got these bon mots that are going to interest everybody. Because, it wasn't... But again, I guess I should be more upset about the fact that they just realize that I talk, and that's all I do is I say everything that comes out of my fucking head, and they think that they're now in my head, so I'm going to have to fire it off. Although I guess they've heard in the past where I've been on the road and I've met with people and I've said stuff, but nobody's ever really complained about me saying anything because I mean I haven't given away any. But I will tell you this, by the way, Sylvester, you're not alone because you know who else gives me that speech all the time? Lily Von Stupp. She gives me that speech. You know you can't say that, right? I go, no, it's no problem. She goes, no, you really, you can't say that. I go, I won't say it, but I'll hint at it. No. Fucking moth. Or he flew behind is that a bread maker? What is that big silver thing?
A toaster oven.
Fine. You know what it is now? It's moth coverage. Sit down. What are you up for? No, don't do this. Good. Yeah, close the cabinets. I literally, when I saw the moth, I zipped my cooler closed in case he wanted to hitchhike to my house. You're going to kill him, right? All right, you're pushing the... Did you catch him?
No, it was another dead bug. Just kidding.
So now, wait, don't clean your countertops now. You're so weird. Sit down.
I'm going to catch the bug so he stops dive bombing you, hopefully.
We're going to kill him, right?
Jesus, he's big.
Yes, no kidding. I'm not lying. Why do you think I'm freaked out? Oh, and you're using the Tupperware thing? Are you going to use that to put food in later? Because now it's going to have moth babies and guts in it. Oh, you're scooping it up. Dudes, yeah, I wish you could see this. Like Lily in her mom jeans is just going over there and trying to scoop up a moth into her Tupperware. It's like I'm doing a show from 1958. Actually, if it was 1958, what are you doing? What happened?
Injured.
Who's injured?
He's an injured moth.
Oh, he's injured. I thought you were injured.
Yeah, no, he's injured.
Good. Well, you know what? Finish him off. You got a lighter?
No.
Let's set him on fire.
What is wrong with you?
That'll teach him a lesson. Yeah, see, there you go. That's right. He's not that injured. He went right for you. Yeah, now he's in your face. And now he's coming over. Sit down.
Where is he?
He went behind you. He flew back to where he was.
He's scared and injured.
Yes, so sit down and kill him. So then he's no longer scared or injured. You tried to kill him or you tried what? Oh, that noise. Jesus, did you just slam him? Did you just crush him under the toaster oven?
No, he's wounded.
Folks, I got to apologize. This is not what this was supposed to be. It's the last day of school.
All right.
We're supposed to be having fun.
Talk about life or something.
Talk about life. How can I talk about life now? We're in debt. We're in danger. And then he flew at your head. You come on, admit it. He flew at your head and you freaked out. You're goddamn right. Kill him. Right, so kill him. That shit wouldn't happen if you killed him.
I tried to capture him. I couldn't do it.
Fuck this Forrest Gump bullshit. You walk over there poking at him and you're like, duh. The fucking murder him. All right. He's going to show up, man. You know what's going to be worse? He's not going to come out again the rest of the day. And then I'm going to go, what are you doing? You're getting up again? You're going back for a second try? Folks, if you could see this. You know what I feel? You ever hear the War of the Worlds, the phony thing that they did, that Orson Welles did? They sent a reporter to the Potter's Field or Potter's Farm, and he described like what happened when the flying saucer opened and the aliens came
I
out.
don't know where he went. I can't catch him. Sorry.
Are you back with the show now?
Yeah, I'm here. I was always here. You're the one that stopped and started going, I could have done that in 2 seconds.
I kept talking, though.
You gave a play-by-play instead of just letting me trap him and be
No, well, I can't do that. You think I'm going to let a moment go by and not describe Lily Big Game Hunter?
Oh, fuck.
You got to. I'm going to call Mutual of Omaha to fucking sponsor this show. We should tag this motherfucker and send him into the wild and see if he comes back during year 6 for Mex and Oats.
His wings is broken. He's flying like, yeah, I feel bad for him. I probably should kill him just to put him out of his misery.
But instead, you're going to keep him as a pet and feed him corn.
I'm not.
You're going to feed him moth corn.
What is a moth corn?
I don't know. I'm sure you know because you take care of these bugs all the time.
I don't. I simply catch them and put them outside.
I can't believe your house is a bug farm.
It's not a bug farm.
It is. Oh, there he is. Hold on. He's back. He's by the light. See, it's the light bulb. He's swooping around. Sit down. Don't worry. No, he's back. No, he's right there. He's underneath the picture of you and Eddie. That's not Eddie's mustache. It's the moth. Kill it. All right. Did you catch him in the sink?
He is underneath Tupperware in the sink.
Fuck moth under glass. Kill him. Oh, no, he's not anymore, did you? You moved the Tupperware and he's up. God damn it. Folks, I apologize.
Moth crisis. Jesus.
We had an earthquake and I wasn't this freaked out.
I know. I don't get it.
I don't like bugs.
God damn it.
Yes, you can't kill him. Just kill him. Quit trying to put him in a fucking jar. Jesus Christ, you're not catching lightning bugs. This is a killer. He's got teeth. He's going to totally bite you. It's the death's head moth.
You are insane.
I'm not. He came right from Suriname. He's been flying the entire time.
Oh my god. I couldn't catch him in the sink because my sink's not flat. Ugh.
So where is he now? He clawed under the dishes?
Yes, he's under the dish thing.
He's under the dish drain. My God. Do you have, listen to me, do you have a lighter? If you have a lighter and a can of hairspray, I will end this in 30 seconds.
Yes, you will. You will burn down the oldest building in fucking Hollywood.
Fine. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
Oh my god.
This motherfucker has now, not only, cause look, not only are you in danger, not only am I in danger, but there are literally tens of people listening to this who are so upset. He's ruining the last day of school. I come to the last day of school to relax and do nothing. Instead, I come now to the last day of school. I got to go through a moth test. Fuck that. Fuck a pop moth quiz. I don't want to answer 10 questions about a moth.
Oh my Christ.
See, again, this shit won't happen in year 6 when Mex and Oats are on board. When I'm out stealing change, Mex and Oats can deal with all the bugs. As they're in here cutting through a tune of adult schmitucation. Adult.
Oh.
Adult. Adult schmitucation. Did I say that one already? I think I might have said adult schmitucation earlier.
No, that's a new one.
Is it? All right, I'm lost. I can't. It's really hard for me to have total recall of the Hall & Oates catalog when I'm under the threat of death at any moment. Imminent death from on high.
Oh my god.
Look, I don't like wild things. I like the book. I like the movie with Denise Richards. Ooh, boy, if she was flying around here, I wouldn't be so scared. Her and Nev Campbell. Boy, Denise Richards in that white fucking swimsuit. Whoa, or is it blue? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Unless there were the 2 brown dots. Denise Richards.
Oh my god.
And it's funny, they have that 3-way where it's Matt Dillon, Denise Richards, and Nev Campbell. And I can't determine which one of them I would rather be. Actually, I guess I probably, I would want to be Nev Campbell. Honestly, in that fucking arrangement, because I mean, I got to pick Matt Dillon over Nev Campbell. I'll jump the fence for Matt Dillon. Fuck, I'll step on Nev Campbell's head to leap over the fence for Matt Dillon. I won't lie. We got a Matt Dillon theme too happening, right? Wasn't he mentioned a couple of weeks ago? Matt Dillon and Wolves. Was he in a Wolf movie? Was he ever in Wolf? No, Jack Nicholson was in Wolf, along with Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer, who was in The Fabulous Baker Boys with Jeff Bridges, who was in Starman with Karen Allen, who was in Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford, who was in Star Wars with Carrie Fisher, who was in Wonderland with Val Kilmer, who was in True Romance with Christian Slater, who was in Heathers with Winona Ryder, who was in Beetlejuice with Alec Baldwin, whose brother is Adam Baldwin, who is in My Bodyguard with fucking Matt Dillon. Yes! Yeah! Does that count?
Where's the wolf?
Who cares? We made it to Matt Dillon. I don't know if brother counts because it's got to be a movie role. Does it have to be a movie role?
I don't know.
God damn it. There was no game. I'm just talking before the moth kills us both. That's it. Not that, believe me, everybody at home is rooting for us to die. Or not for you. They're rooting for me to die just so I shut the fuck up about this bug. God damn it. Is it in the sink? It's in the sink still, right?
Yes.
Did you cover it?
Yes, he is completely covered. He is a big motherfucker.
Yes, I wasn't kidding. Kill him. Drown him. Do that. Oh, do that. Fill that thing with water.
I would have to turn it upside down to fill it with water.
Let's do that.
He's pushing the motherfucking thing. He's big.
Yes, thank you. I'm not kidding. You know what? Take a picture of him. I swear to God, take a picture of him with my phone. Because then later people will be like, oh, was he that big? Yes, he's fucking gigantic.
Okay. You're weird, but okay.
I'm not weird.
Yes, you are.
Well, you don't have to go fucking say cheese and give it. We're not doing Owen Mills fucking reflections photograph where I got to get one in the corner and one in his face. Just get a big picture. I mean, like, get it. You know what? For scope,
I'm trying to get him away from the edge so you can see how big
put him on a saucer, like for scope, so people will know. Put him in your hand for scope.
Bite me. Put him in my
He's going to. That's the point. See, I still don't think you appreciate the danger of this situation. Of course, maybe I don't either because I'm taking photos of him. See? Now, all right, let me say this right now to everybody out there listening in any city that I'm coming to.
Poor thing's running in circles trying to get out.
So kill him.
No. I'm not.
You're just trying to prove a point now. You're just like fucking Kung Fu or something. Dude, just murder him. Quit this hippie bullshit and drive a stake through the heart of that moth.
Jesus Christ, he's big and I can't. He's moving, so I can't get a picture of him.
What is wrong with you? I think those mom jeans have made you older. You're so much cooler than this usually.
I'm the one being cool. You're the one walking around like a crazy person.
I'm not walking around. I haven't moved once. That's a terrible picture.
There's 4 of them and they're all bad. Why don't you come over here and hold it?
There's 4 moths?
No, there's 4 pictures and they're all bad.
Jesus, that's a
Because
big
he's
ass
under
moth.
a giant fucking.
So let him out. Dude, let him. You know what? Let's film it.
I just
Dude,
caught
what?
the
I just figured it out.
motherfucker.
I'm going to fucking film it. I'm going to take the Tupperware off.
You're crazy.
I'm going to film it
No,
from
you're
level,
not.
and he's going to rise out of the sink. It's going to look totally scary.
You're insane.
That'd be awesome. All right, I'm not putting this picture of this bucket on anywhere. Those are just my own personal collection of bugs under glass. That's what I want. You know, everybody's like, hey, dude, do you ever have any pictures of bugs in plastic? Of course I do. Who doesn't? It's like, wasn't there a bug in amber in fucking Jurassic Park? That's what we need to do. We need to clone this moth and make Mothathic Park. All right.
Wait a minute. First you want to kill him, now you want to clone him?
Well, kill him. Kill him, but then make a bunch of... Well, let's put it this way. If we can clone him, and then we are in control of the moths,
Okay, now he's climbing up the Tupperware. And oh, that's scary looking.
so kill him. I don't understand why you're telling me this play-by-play.
him.
All right, I'll do it. Well, I can't. I'm on the air. I'm talking.
No, you are not going to kill bugs in my house.
What is... I don't understand
There's no
you.
moth holocaust here.
It's just one of them. But I guess when they came for the moth, you didn't say anything. And then when they came for the strippers, there was nobody left to speak for me.
Holy crap.
First they came for the moths, and I didn't say anything. Then they came for the clowns, and I didn't say anything. But then they came for the burlesque dancers, and there was nobody left to speak for me. I can understand why you'd be upset. Oh, Jesus. All right. The hell was I just talking about? Oh, here's what I was saying. Here's what I'm saying to all of you people right now. Okay? Anybody out there in any city where I'm touring or I'm coming to town and do a show, which, by the way, is only Detroit right now, go back and listen to the last, 25 minutes of the show and really think about whether or not you want me to stay at your house. I can't tell you how Sylvester right now, he's just like, I cannot believe the bullet I dodged by not having that guy in my house for any length of time. Plus, if I stay in your house, I'm actually going to send an advance team to make sure there are no bugs anywhere near there. Before I stay in your house, I send those dudes from E.T. Like all those dudes, it's Peter Coyote and a bunch of dudes in hazmat suits. And they come in and they go through your fucking house looking for bugs to make sure that I have fucking place to sleep.
Oh my god.
And if you know what, if me freaking out over a moth bugs you, stick around. 2 weeks from now, it's Mex and Oats. You don't have to worry about me. You'll just hear them doing Say It Isn't Schmidt, and you'll be like, yeah, all right, I'm on board with that. That's fine. As long as there's no moth, I can go ahead and listen to fucking Rich Schmidt. but he's gone too far, and you know it don't matter anyway.
Oh!
Why do you have physical pain? That's terrible. All right. So I was in San Francisco last week, and boy, it's the last day of school. I should be out of here by now. Plus, the fact that you and I are divergent in our opinion on what to do about interlopers. I say kill them. You say save them. This is the eternal struggle that we will have. That's why we're so good together. Opposites attract. You want to save everyone. I want to murder everyone. But you know what's so funny? That's just you on camera. Like, because if we weren't recording, you'd be like, let's kill everything.
There's no reason to kill the moth. He's done nothing. But be a moth.
Tell the people listening to the show.
You did ruin 20 minutes.
Yeah, this guy murdered a podcast. I'm telling you, he was sent from the moth.
Why don't you put it on Facebook? Should we kill the moth or not?
Throw that out there to people?
I'm kidding. I'm not killing the moth. I will release it into the wild as soon as you're gone.
I better be gone, though. I mean, like off the block and driven away, because otherwise it'll get on my car and come to my house. See, you doubt this moth. You seem to think it doesn't have an agenda.
I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag and send it home with you.
No. Do it. Actually, no. Put it in a Ziploc bag.
No.
Because I will throw it on the ground and stomp on it, and we'll be married.
You're mean.
You and I will be married.
Yes, you kill the moth.
I will throw it down on the ground, we'll stomp on it, and we'll jump over a broom, and we're married. I like it. That's the way to end year 5. You and I stomp on a moth, jump over a broom, and get married. We take a 2-week honeymoon, and then we come back and watch Mex and Oates tear it up.
Oh my God.
Because then I'll be a family Schmidt. And my bark is much worse than my bite. Yeah!
Really?
That's right! Folks, if you don't appreciate this seriously, never listen again. Never. I pulled like 87 Hall & Oates songs out of my fucking ass and made them up with Schmidt names. I connected Matt Dillon to, I don't even know who it was, in 87 steps.
Never wrote the whole thing.
That would be a funny podcast. If you just started with an actor and you just, for an hour, kept mentioning actors and roles until you finally, at the end, you brought them together. Just to see how long you can do it. Because I know the Kevin Bacon game is all about short and try to connect them in the least amount of steps. I want to connect somebody in the most amount of steps you possibly can. And every week, it has to be an hour of you just, and stream of consciousnness, just off the top of your head, bang, 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 bang. God damn it, that'd be fun. That's a fun exercise.
For you.
I have no life, folks. I have not, literally, it's funny, I mentioned that like it would be a fun podcast. That's what I'm doing in my house from midnight till 4 in the morning. Sitting at the computer, looking at 4chan, and then making these weird connections because I got nobody else to talk to. Who the fuck am I going to talk to? Everybody's gone. All right. So I was in San Francisco, folks, and I recorded the CD last week. Oh, well, let me know. I didn't talk about Portland from a couple weeks ago. I did the show in Portland, and I had a ton of fun. I actually went into town a day early because, when I scheduled the trip, I still had money and a life. So I was going to come to town. I was going to go to the Blazers game on Wednesday and hang out with people on Thursday. And then it turned out that instead, when I got to Portland, my buddy Michael, who looks like Matthew Sweet from And the Podcast You Wrote In On, he picked me up at the airport. And, Portland, I've been told like where to go eat and stuff. And every time I'm there, I wind up somewhere different. Well, I had missed Pine State Biscuits the last few times I was there. So I'm like, all right, dude, I got to go to Pine State Biscuits. So I got in the car with Michael, and it turned out and poor Michael, he's just like, because again, people are nice enough to pick me up. And then he's like, where do you want to go eat? And last time I went there, Michael took me to some fucking shit box for lunch. The burger was okay, but then it was like the fries were, because again, I'm fat, man, so I'm judgmental. I need to know what's going on. And the fries were like air fries. Like, you ever had those? There was a joint in LA that used to make air fries. They didn't fry them. They bake them or they crisp them up somehow or some weird, just fucking terrible. And I forget where, God damn it, what was the restaurant here that had them? But Karen and I ordered them once and we were just like, this is death. Oh my God, what a mess. So I'm not a fan. But then he took me to the place that was like really healthy. Like they, organic lettuce and a cow everybody was nice to. And it was just, that was your hamburger. You know what I mean? The French fries were made from potatoes that someone had read a story to. You know what I mean? That kind of horse shit. And it was okay, but you know me, I'm looking for fucking plate of death. So this time around, he's like, "Where you want to go eat?" I said, "Pine State." So I Googled it, and it happened to be close to the airport. And then I told him where to go. This is the weirdest thing, too. Michael, I go, Michael, all right, you got to go up to this street, and you take a right, and then you follow it all the way. And then he got on it, and then he took like 9 lefts. And I don't say anything because, again, he was nice enough to pick me up. But I'm like, I just told you where to go. I got a fucking robot in my hand that knows where we're supposed to go. So then he gets his phone out, and he's kind of going through his GPS. And I'm like, do you think yours is different than mine? So he drives, and he's going, and he's like, I don't know. It's all the way on the other side of town, man. I don't know if we're going to make it. And then it turned out it wasn't. It was only like a mile away. And we pull up, and the big sign, Pine State Biscuits, we park, like, because Portland, you can park anywhere. We park like 2 blocks away. And we walk up, and as we get there, we get closer. There's a huge sign that says Pine Street Biscuits, but like the building's it's empty. It's like a shell. And on the door, there's a sign that just says, "We are closed forever. Please visit our Belmont location." To the point where I actually took a photo of it, and I was going to put it on Facebook and just go, "Really? Pine State Biscuits? Really?" So they closed at 2, and by now it's like 10 after 1. So I said to him, and I go, "Hey, can we go to this other one?" He goes, "Man, that's all the way across town. I don't think we'll make it." I said, "All right." So we get in the car, and I put it on my fucking GPS, and it's like a mile and a half away or 2 miles away. So I tell him that. He's like, "Oh, okay." So he starts driving, and then I tell him, he goes, "What street is that on?" I told him, he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's close." Like he wasn't even listening to me. Whatever, dude. Whatever, Matthew Sweet. I know you need to get back in the arms of a good friend, but I want to go eat lunch, goddammit. You know what? I think ASCAP is just going to sue me one day. They're going to come after me just for all the song lyrics involved in this fucking show, even dropped in conversationally. So we went to the other Pine State, and we parked, and there was a line out the door and around the corner, even at 1:30 whenever we got there. We walked in, and the place smelled amazing, and it's biscuits. It's biscuit sandwiches or, whatever you want to order. I get to the front, and they had a thing called the Reggie, which is homemade fried chicken on a biscuit with gravy and cheese. But then you can get the Reggie Deluxe, which throws some eggs on it. So I did that. Got the Reggie Deluxe. And then I also ordered, they had grit cakes. And the grit cakes had tasso ham and pimento cheese and another thing. I wanted to try those because it was straight Southern. And then he got his food. So we sat down. I didn't pay attention to what Matthew Sweet's ordering. So Michael and I go sit at a picnic table and we get our food. And I mean, this thing, look, I am fat now. But I used to be legendary fat. I mean, legendary fat, I probably could have finished everything. But just fat guy now, like I don't even see the sense in ordering something that big. It makes no sense at all. It was a gigantic homemade biscuit with a huge fucking piece of fried chicken on it, covered in gravy and like 2 fried eggs. And I'm just staring at it. I mean, it just. If I was the Flintstones, it would have tipped my car over. It's fucking gigantic. So and then in addition to that, my fat head, because again, my head is still fat as well. My brain is still fat. So it orders like a fat guy. So that's why I'd ordered the grit cakes and shit, because I'm like, oh, I want to bite those grit cakes. Well, yeah, I had 1 bite of the grit cakes and I was done. That was it. And I told Michael, I was like, you can take those home. And I ate half the Reggie, half the Reggie Deluxe. And I said, dude, you can have that too. He's like, don't you want it? I go, no, I'm in a hotel. Because I can't, dudes, look, I'm freaked out in a hotel that the bathroom is in my hotel. Because, like, then if you have to use the bathroom, then your whole room fucking stinks just because you use the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, there should be a different thing. I live there. That's my house. So give me an outhouse or something, or I don't care, whatever. It's fucking disgusting. So the last thing I want to do is bring a fucking styrofoam container of gravy into the fucking hotel room. Jesus, it's going to reek. So I told him, no, man, you can have that. So then he took me and he dropped me off at the hotel and he asked if I would do his podcast. And I said, sure. Well, he had asked me before I came to town, but then he dropped me off because I was groggy. Because I'm not kidding you. That fucking biscuit and fried chicken and gravy, it was just a plate with a nap on it. That's all it was. It was literally a big bowl of nap. So when I ate it, I hadn't slept much anyway, so I was groggy. He's like, well, I'll just take you to the hotel. When I get upstairs, I get unpacked and I realized I was supposed to do his podcast and he had left me alone. So then I was talking to my buddy Russ. I was in town in Portland, and like I said, it's Wednesday. I had no plans. I was going to go to the Blazer game, but then the financial holocaust happened, so I wasn't going to get a ticket for that. So I contacted my friend Russ, and he said, hey, man, I'm out and about. Can I come get you? He lived 5 minutes from the hotel. I was at the DoubleTree. And he picked me up, and he's like, what do you want to do? I said, well, let's go to Voodoo Donuts. because I'm an idiot, folks. I had eaten half of a biscuit because that's another thing. I will tell you this: I'm fat, so when I see that food, it makes no sense to me. But then I'm hungry. Like my entire life is eating Chinese food because I'm hungry an hour and a half later. Because I only eat small portions, but then I'm totally hungry in like an hour and a half. It's stupid. So I was like, hey, well, let's go to Voodoo Donut because it happens to be right by the hotel. So he and I went over to Voodoo Donut, and I'm stupid because then I bought a dozen Voodoo Donuts. And we sat down because again, my fat head is just like get a dozen donuts, and I'm like, why? Well, so we sat down and I ate one, and then we were talking and we were just shooting the breeze and stuff, and I was basically laying out for him everything that has gone to hell, and he knew a little bit. And Russ is one of the funniest guys ever. He might be one of the top 5 funniest guys I've ever met. Top 5 seems high. So, So he and I hung out, and then he took me back to the hotel, and I'm like, well, because I was going to go to this place called Pok Pok. Literally, this entire trip was all about going to eat. Because, I mean, everywhere in Portland, everybody told me, you got to eat here, you got to eat there. So they're like, you got to go to this place, Pok Pok, for Thai food. And he was on board, and he said his wife was on board. So I said, all right, let's go. And he dropped me at the hotel. I contacted him like 2 hours later. I go, hey, I just ate those donuts. Those are gone. So you want to go to Pok Pok? And this is so funny. He's not even my age. I think he might be 40. If that. He might not even be. And he's just like, you know what? I just opened a beer and I got my sweatpants on. I'm in for the night. This is like it's 7:30 at night. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? All right. So Wednesday night, when I went there early to go and see the Blazers or hang out or do whatever, I was in the hotel. I was in the hotel all night long by myself. And also was not mobile. And I didn't want to eat downstairs in the hotel. So I just ate donuts. Like I just sat in my room and fucking surfed the internet and ate donuts. And in my head, I just went, I am comic book guy from The Simpsons. Worst trip ever. And by the way, when I say that, that's a joke because there is nothing I would rather do than sit and surf the internet and eat fucking donuts. I wish I could pretend. Literally, the only thing would have been better if I had a box of pussy. That's the only thing I would have liked better. Like if I'm going to be in my room all night and I can't eat pussy, give me donuts, particularly voodoo donuts. So I'll surf the internet and go. If I'm not fucking all night long, I'll eat donuts all night. There you go. Honestly, that's the coin. That's the two-sided coin I live by, folks. I'm like Two-Face. I have it in my hand and I'm ready to flip it whenever I'm on the road from now on. If it comes up tails, I'm getting tails. If it comes up heads, we're going donuts. Although I guess really either side of the coin could work for sex. There's not enough donut-based currency in this country. We need a nickel with a Boston cream pie on it. Actually, that doesn't solve a goddamn thing, does it? Because you got a nickel with a Boston cream pie on it. It comes up on cream pie. Guess what? Motherfucker. It's hard to get away from the sex-based coin. So I sat in my room and I ate donuts. I didn't eat all the donuts, but I ate a good, healthy portion of the donuts. Surfed the internet. And the next day I had to be up. They were picking me up for Fun Employment Radio. So they contacted me. Kenny was the guy, and he was real nice in the email, and he's like, we'll come and get you. And then he started writing me, and he's like, this is so weird. The show, they were coming to get me at 12:40. And the show ended at 2. And then he writes me and he's like, hey, do you have anywhere else to be? Like, that afternoon? And I was like, why? Is something bad happening, Kenny? Like, I go, I'll talk till I'm done. And he's like, oh, no, I just needed to know if you needed us to get you home before the show ended. I said, no, man, I'm there till the show ends. So cool. Kenny picks me up in the hotel the next morning. I get out of the shower, get dressed, meet him in the lobby. We go and we get in the car. And I'm Kenny was a super cool guy, but it never ceases to amaze me that whenever you do a show on the road, you get picked up by the guy with like the shitbox car in the city. Like I think he picked me up in a Honda Civic.
You're a total jerk.
I don't know what it was, but it wasn't good. But I busted his balls on it. We had fun. And he was joking, but it made me laugh because that literally happened whenever I would be on the road. Like I would pick up headliners sometimes for the Funny Bone, and they would always marvel at the fact that I had a nice car because they were always getting picked up by shit guys. I went one time. I think I've told this story on here. It's and I have to tell it. Pardo and I, we worked in Houston at the Laugh Stop. This is when he recorded Pompous Clown. It was that week. So he was recording all week, and you can hear me all over the CD laughing like a dumb fuck. But we were getting picked up at the hotel and driven back to the hotel by a guy who worked in the office. And of course, because he's the low guy in the totem pole, he has to pick us up, and he's got a fucking I don't even think, because there's the Mazda 626 and the Mazda 323. I think he had the Mazda 111. I mean, it was just the prototype. It was terrible. It was practically, you know what it was? He picked us up in a green machine. Do you guys ever? He picked us up in a green machine. He had a big wheel, and we were all on each other's shoulders. And actually, it would have been preferable to the fucking, because we get in his car, and this kid had apparently decided to have a race with cancer. Like he was deciding. I don't know if he was in college and his thesis was how quickly cigarettes can kill you or how to hasten the onset of throat cancer, because he smoked in his car. Like it was like climbing into a pack of Marlboros. His car smelled like the Marlboro man's taint. It was like that fucking disgusting. It's like, you know the scene in Star Wars where they had to cut open the Tauntaun and they had to put Luke in there to stay warm? All right, imagine if they filmed that scene with Joe Camel. That's what it smelled like. If they had to cut open Joe Camel and shove me inside it to keep me warm, me and Jimmy Pardo. So he was just a surly dick because he didn't want to be picking us up. And I don't know if he was like, because sometimes comedy clubs hire wannabe comics and make them do a ton of shit to get stage time. Like I couldn't figure out his vibe because he never talked to us. He was just a fucking bad guy and young and just pissed. And so Pardo and I kept joking about it. Like every time we'd get in or out, we'd go, we'd go, what the fuck? This is crazy, right? We hated it. We hated the smell of his car. So like the third night, and he was just a pill. He was just a sourpuss. And the third night we're driving, and because it was silent, like he wouldn't talk to us, and to the point where now like Pardo and I are like children. Like we're kind of like I'm in the front seat and he's in the back. And it's just that thing where the whole situation is so absurd. So he's driving and he's just a fucking dick. And he comes by a strip mall and he's like 35 miles an hour. And I'm in the passenger seat and I just go, stop! And he fucking hits the brakes and he like looks up and he goes, what? And I go, nail time. Because there was a nail salon called Nail Time. So I was like, stop! Nail time. But I yelled stop and he hit the fucking brakes, and he's like, what? Nail time. And Pardo just goes, ah! In the back seat. And he hated us even more. Like he could not, as if in his mind he was like, I could not hate these two assholes more than I do right now. Stop. What? Nail time. I was wrong. I want this fat dude to die. Because that was 500-pound Mike in the front seat of a fucking shitbox car. It was terrible. So every time they have to pick you up, how did I get it? Oh, because Michael picked me up. No, the Kenny picked me up for Fun Employment Radio. Michael's car is gorgeous. It's a van. It's like a rape van. Huge fucking ridiculous car. So and he smokes too. He's another one who fucking, his car smells like cigarettes. It's Portland. I guess that's what they all have to do. I was shocked that nobody was smoking cloves. Like I half expected to get in the car and smell that smell. But nope, they all smoke regular tobacco. It's hard for me to concentrate when I know that there's an instrument of death in your sink.
Do you want me to pause and get rid of it?
You gonna kill it?
No, I'm going to take it outside and release it into the wild.
No, because then I know it's out there waiting for me.
You are insane.
Yeah. You say that until the day I die and they find me in a wing fucking hammock. I don't know. Sure. I had nothing. Come on, give me a break. I pulled up 97 Hall & Oates songs. I think I get a break on that one. No, I shouldn't even remind you. Now you're looking at him and you're feeling bad for him.
No, he's just sitting there getting hot in Tupperware.
Good. Cook him. Let's roast him. Ooh, what if we...
No, let's not.
Dude, let's fry him. Heat some oil up. Let's fry him up.
Do you honestly think you could set him into a frying pan and he wouldn't fly away?
If you had... No, fill it with oil. That's what I'm saying, because then he'll get bogged down by oil and then he'll totally crisp up.
Only if you'll eat him.
I'll eat him. You fry him up, I'll eat him. Put some oil on the fucking stove right now. I'll eat that big fucking moth. Yeah, I don't care. Do it.
Disgusting.
What? Why am I disgusting? I haven't done it yet.
That's gross.
You're gross. You thought of it.
No, you said let's cook him.
And then you said you eat him. See, you took it to that other level.
I took it as...
Look, if I cook a moth, everybody's like, well, he's an experimental gourmet. But you're like, you should eat him. And then I'm disgusting. Everybody was on board with me. Everybody out there right now was like, yeah, I would totally fry up that moth. Only you made the leap to eating him.
I don't think you you should kill things and not use them completely.
So you're kind of a nose to toes type of person when it comes to killing the moth.
Well, I think if you're going to kill animals, you should use all of it.
So it's sustainable.
Yes.
All right. So cook them up.
No.
All right. This is the end, by the way. This is the last day of school. Look at the teacher. She's being all mean to me. She should be happy. She's got the whole summer coming up. She's going to be off for the whole summer.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have to work with Mex and Oats?
Unfortunately.
Oh my God, you do. I'm off. I'm the only one off. I get to go out and be a busker buster, and you have to come here and produce Mex and Oats.
I don't think I'm going to want to work with Mex and Oats. I
No.
think Oats is a dick.
What? Well, then maybe you should just work with Mex one-on-one.
Okay.
One-on-one. Oh, come on.
It was awesome.
Thank you.
Your head.
So what was I talking about?
You were in Portland.
I was in Portland.
Yes.
So I go to Fun Employment Radio. Kenny brings me, and I should tell you this: Kenny drives me, and he turns and he goes, "Here's the studio's right here on the corner," and he drives past it. And he goes, "Parking around here is terrible," and I don't say anything, and he makes like 2 left turns, and then he's on another completely different block, and he's like, "Yeah, they just, I can't believe they won't give me a key to the studio, and they won't give me like a parking pass. I got to figure out how to do it." He's like complaining, and I stop and I go, "Hey, Kenny, maybe you drop the talent off at the front door before you park in Salem." And he's like, ha, 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 ha. And then he finds a spot and he parks. Like, he literally parks far away. Kenny, I am the talent, friend. Unless you got a rickshaw in the trunk you're going to unfold, this is unseemly. So I get out of the car. We make our way to the studio, and I meet Greg and Sarah, who were very nice. And I walk in and did the show. It was fucking amazing. I had so much fun because they were broadcasters who were invested in me. Like they knew what to do and they could talk on their own, but they were interested in what I had to say, and they like listened to me talk, but also involved themselves and had anecdotes, and it was just, I had such a great time. And Kenny was on mic as well, and the four of us just did a good show, I thought. So you can download Fun Employment Radio from 2 weeks ago. I think you'll find it. My name's in the credits, and that was great. Kenny took me out, took me home, and Thursday night I was going. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but then I found out Graham Elwood was in town at Helium. So I had asked Russ, I go, dude, do you want to go see Graham? He doesn't know we're coming. And he said, yeah. He goes, well, let's go to Pock Pock, and then we'll go over to Helium. I said, done. So we went to Pock Pock, this Thai place, and I was told it was busy. Well, when we pulled up, there was a total shit show outside, 1 million people. But I'm used to that at Katsuya. I do that for sushi all the time. So I don't mind waiting. It's so funny to see people. This happens all the time. I told the story in here when I was in line for cupcakes once, Pinkberry, I think it was, or something, when there was only one Pinkberry in town. And people would walk up and they were just like, well, waiting in line for yogurt, whatever. And it's like, dude, if you don't want to, get the fuck out of here. You have to fucking sit here and talk shit to me? So, yes, I got no fight at a yogurt shop. All right, so how rude is that? I'm in line for a thing called Pinkberry, but I'm ready to punch a guy in the face for talking shit about me. God damn it, grow up. So he picked me up. So now we're in Pock Pock, and there's a line outside, and we pull up, and the lady's like, it's going to be like an hour. I said, no problem. Throw our names on the list. And the thing is, they have across the street and one over, they have a lounge called Whiskey Soda that the Pock Pock people, they own it. It's new. And they're like, you know what? You can go over there and have some beers, and we will let them know when your table's ready. So you don't have to stand outside on the sidewalk. I said, great. So we headed over to Whiskey Soda. We got some shrimp chips, and Russ got a beer. Russ is like he's that guy who knows everything about beer because he's worked in a pub, so he knows all he got some Polish beer and knew it. Like he's like, yeah, I'll take the da da da. And he said the name, the Polish beer, which to me it's beer. Like all beer tastes the same to me, because I have no palate for alcohol. I have a palate for moth though, folks. So you had to look, right? He's still there, right? All right, good. I got to quit talking about him. Not that anybody's listening anymore anyway. Once they heard me freak out like Cindy Brady, they were like, snap, turn off, unplugged their iPod vagina and ran. That's how much they were disturbed by what I said. They ran away from their fucking radio. So he and I go to Pock Pock. We were at Whiskey Soda. We hang out. They come and get us. And it took like an hour and 15 minutes to get a table. But we go over. We ordered a grilled boar collar. It was grilled over charcoal, not wood. So it was grilled over charcoal. We got that. We got a coconut curry soup. I got a green papaya salad, which they said was spicy. But the thing everybody told me was like, dude, you got to try these chicken wings at Pock Pock. They're Vietnamese chicken wings. and they said they're just the best wings you'll ever eat. So I ordered those. The guy goes, all right, well, I'll start you with the wings. He came out and we looked at him. And I should tell you, they were chicken wings, not frozen bullshit. Like they were cut off of an actual chicken. And well, seriously, like, you know how you get frozen wings and they all just like they're the same shape? Well, these were different shapes because they had the drums attached too, in addition to the wings. So it was like, it looked like a fucking crab leg. It was gigantic. So I grab it, it's hot, and both Russ and I bit into them at the same time. And we looked up at one another. And I don't know. It was almost like a Disney movie. Like, I think at that moment, if a witch had come by and touched our heads, we would be married. Like that kind of thing. Like we bit the wings and we loved them so much and we made eye contact that our souls almost exchanged bodies and we had like a Freaky Thursday thing happen there in Pok Pok. That's how good they were, because they're not hot. You can get them hot, but we got them kind of mild, but they're made with a fish sauce and they're kind of caramelized and they're cooked with garlic. Dude. They were so good. At the table next to us, there were chickens who had ordered them. That's how good they were. These chickens, they're like, we come here for the wings all the time, Bach. And then they fucking ate themselves. It was awesome. They actually offered up their own. They said, do me a favor, chop us up and cook us and serve us to ourselves. All we ask is you hold the wings so we can sit here and peck at them. Would you do that for us? Bach? So we ate these wings and I'm like, I go, dude, I don't know how good the rest of this food's going to be, but it can't follow this. Like, you should not open with the wings. That should be a dessert. Like, it should not be your opening volley, because granted, your palate's up and you're ready, but there's no way anything else you get is going to be as good as these fucking wings. They were amazing. So we ate those, and they brought the rest of the food. The grilled boar collar was really good. Everything was delicious. Everything. It was the best meal. It was so good. Well worth waiting an hour and 15 minutes to sit down. And to the point where next weekend when I'm there for Bridgetown, I'm gonna go probably for the wings. Like they were so good, and I'll get to that in a second. So we split. We went to go see Graham, and we caught the last like 15, 20 minutes of his act. And I haven't been in a comedy club in anger in a long time. Like it's been a couple of years since I've actually been. Last time I did, I went with Jimmy. And I went and watched him in Ventura. But that doesn't even count, because he's not even like a comic. He's just like a force of nature. It's like if you went to watch a tornado get set loose in a room. You know what I mean? Just, that's what it is with Pardo. To be in an actual room and watch actual comics is different. So I went there and to see Graham, and Graham's very funny. He was killing it. We only saw the last 15 minutes of his act. But it made me laugh just to see the rhythms of the comedy club, because I grew up doing that. I mean, that's for 20 years. I was in comedy clubs. And to get there and to go in the back and to see the comment card on the table, and to see them dropping checks, and to see Graham working and doing bits, and people laughing. He was killing. I mean, he was doing extremely well, but it was just funny to watch him. And he actually, in his closing bit, he messed up a line, and I knew he did, and he made himself laugh because it's a fast talking thing. And then he actually repeated the line later to make sure that he got it in, the one that he had missed. But both Russ and I knew it, because again, it's like if you had two doctors who grabbed a six-pack and went and sat in the fucking operating room seats in the operating theater, and they looked down and they watched these dudes and they're like, oh, that dude totally missed a stitch. What a dick. Like, you know, we do. You just know, man. There's a language and a shorthand that as comics we know. So we sat in the back, we watched it, and he killed, but we saw the bit where he missed the line and we laughed. And I just looked at Russ, because then the show ended and Graham finished. The MC came out and said, how about a hand for everybody and a hand for me? And, you know, there's comment cards and here's who's coming next week. And I just went, God damn it, that's my life. And I miss it. I miss it so much. But then what's funny is then I was on, just in a side tangent, I'll tell you this. Here's what I watched on YouTube. Laurie Kilmartin, who writes for Conan O'Brien, and is an extremely funny stand-up comedian. I follow her on Twitter. Well, she twittered a clip, and I went to YouTube and watched it. She was at Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank, and she went on stage, and there was some 70-year-old woman drunk in the front row who wouldn't stop heckling, had ruined the show up to that point, heckled a bunch of people, and Laurie dealt with it. It's like a 4-minute clip. Finally, Laurie gets them to leave. Like, kind of passive aggressively insults them in a nice way, and then finally they go, oh, whatever. And they think they made the decision to leave, but they didn't. Laurie Jedi mind tricked them into walking out. And I watched that, and I went, that's why I don't miss it. Because I would have gotten on stage, I would have pulled up a chair and destroyed that woman. Like, I understand she's 7, because even Laurie goes, this is tricky, because like you're kind of old. Like, she's an older woman who's drunk. I don't care. That woman is a moth in my house, and I set her the fuck on fire. I don't put her under Tupperware in the sink and just fucking kind of, have fun with her. No. I fucking scorch earth the shit out of that chick. And that's what I need to stop doing. That's why me and clubs don't mix so well. Because I have to be jovial. I have to realize those people are there to have a good time. So to see Graham do it was fucking cool. It was a kind of a revelation to be back in a club and see a comic kill. And then the show ended, and out in the hallway, Graham is signing merch. And I hid behind there was a giant fat dude. And I hid behind him in the line. And I was kind of crouching down because this guy was like 6'3", and he was a big dude. He wasn't fat. He was just enormous. He was like a wall with a hat on. So he's moving forward, and then Graham is talking to him. And then the thing is, they wouldn't stop talking to Graham, this guy and his girlfriend. They're like, and I'm crouched down. I'm like, hey guys, I'm playing a joke. Move out of the way. We'll all have fun. So finally, I just stood up and I peeked over the guy's shoulder, and fucking Graham just started laughing. He's just like, Schmidt! And he was selling Comedy Film Nerds books. So this guy and his wife had bought one, and then he's like, have Mike Schmidt sign it. He's right there. He wrote a couple of chapters. Go get him, sign it. And I'm like, these people don't care. They're here to see you. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. He's like, come on, sign it. Because Graham's an idiot. And so they came over, and I signed it for like, they don't even know who I am. And I'm like, here you go. And then Graham actually had family there, so he said goodbye to them. And then the three of us just took off. And we went to, it was me, Graham, and Russ. And Russ hadn't seen Graham in years. So we wound up back at the DoubleTree. And just hung out in the lobby and talked fucking shop, talked comedy, talked the future, talked the internet. It was fun. It was great because, again, I don't do that nearly enough. I don't hang out with comics. I don't hang out with friends, and I certainly don't hang out with comic friends. I see my guys for poker once a month. That's it. Because everybody's got families and lives. So we went at the end of the night. We get to take Graham back to his hotel, and Graham was going to. He goes, "I'll walk back," but I'm like, because again. It made me laugh because he was staying in this weird, he was in a Crown Plaza, but to get from his place to my place, you had to cut through a field and do a bunch of shit. I go, what are you going to parkour your way back to my fucking hotel? He goes, parkour. And I go, yeah, just all these buildings, you're going to fucking jump on the cement. You're going to sneak over. Because again, when I'm out late at night, I play Mafia. I told you that story. I like to play Mafia where I pretend that everybody driving by is trying to kill me. So I'll run and I'll dive under trees and I'll hide. All right. So I think everybody does it. So I guess not. So we dropped Graham off at the Crown Plaza, and then I said to Russ, I go, hey, do me a favor. Can you stop at Voodoo for me on the way home? He's like, sure. And he stopped at Voodoo Donuts, and I bought more donuts. And I listen to me. I still had donuts in my room. I still had 8 donuts in a box in my room, and I'm not kidding you. I said this. Graham's like, you got to get donuts? I go, yeah. I go, I didn't eat last night's dozen. I still got like 7 in my room or 8. And he's like, well, why do you need more donuts? And I said, just in case. Just in case! That's how fat I am. I'm buying donuts just in case. Literally, I have donuts under glass, and it's like, in case of emergency, break glass for donuts. You fat fuck. What are you doing? But I went because I wanted a mango tango. It was like so good, and I'd already eaten the one that I had that was in my room. So I bought like 4 more donuts, and then I brought them back to my room. And I'm like, why are you buying more donuts, you dick? And then the worst part is like now I've got 2 giant, because their boxes are pink. I should tell you this too. When I bought the initial dozen, Russ brought me back to the hotel and dropped me off. And I went walking in, and there's 4 dudes outside the hotel, and it says right on the box, says "Good things come in pink boxes." That's Voodoo Donut's slogan. So the guy goes, oh, good things come in pink boxes. And I go, I'll tell you what. And here's the thing. I was so embarrassed as a fat guy that I had bought a dozen donuts for myself to bring to my room. So it was bad enough I was carrying a giant pink box of donuts. But now there's 4 men standing outside the hotel, and I come walking up holding the donuts in my hand, and the guy noticed me, and he's like, oh, good things come in pink boxes. So I'm so freaked out that they saw one guy with a dozen donuts, and now that I'm fat, now I think that they think that I'm fat, and they know that I'm going to eat all these donuts myself, that I actually went, oh, I'll tell you what, fellas, I got a dozen donuts here. There's 5 of us. Come on out to my room, and we'll tear them apart. It'll be awesome. And they looked at me like freaky, and in my head I just went, you just invited 4 guys up for a gangbang of donuts in your room. You might as well have just said, hey, fellas, come on up, whip out your cocks. I'll suck all of them while you eat all of these donuts. It's like I'm a weird reverse pedophile. I use the donuts to get men to my room, and then I blow them while they all eat fucking fried dough. Are you shitting me? It's because I was so embarrassed about the fact that I had a dozen donuts and I was fat that I'm like, hey, fellas, we got a dozen in here. There's 5 of us. Come on up to my room. We'll tear them apart. We'll tear them apart. I literally scheduled my own donut gangbang. Unbelievable. Because they all looked at me weird, like, fucking, did you just invite us up to your room for donuts, you weird freak? And I averted my eyes and I ran, like, holding the donuts.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
So,
Fuck. Oh.
so I get the second purchase of donuts up to my room. And so now I've got 2 giant pink boxes in my fucking room. And in my head, I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get rid of these. So then the next day, or not the next day, when I checked out, because I didn't eat all the donuts, there were still 6 left by the end of the day, by the time I was checking out. And I actually put 1 box in front of one room and 1 box in front of another room because I didn't want either room to look like a hog. So instead, I put them in front of their, like where they put the room service trays, the empty discarded room service. Yeah, I put the donuts at the foot of each door. So it looks like, well, wow, there was a huge party in there and they couldn't finish their dozens of donuts. Oh, that's where the donut gangbang was in either of those rooms. Not mine. So I come out, my face is all glazed up. So then I went and did the show on Friday, and it was amazing. I had a good time at the Headwaters Theater. John was the guy. Mitsu was the woman who booked it, and then I met her husband, John, and he sat me down. I mean, he wanted to talk. Like, that dude wanted to have a chat. So we started talking about, he used to work for Sub Pop, and he was a guy who managed bands. And he kind of talked me down because I was talking about the CD I got, and I told him about the show, and I said it's a little different for comedy CD and that. And he's like, "Well, hey man, you got to be you. You got to be truthful to who you are and what you do." And his speech actually kind of helped. Like because I was, I was going to do what I was going to do anyway. But to hear him say, "Hey, do if you want to do something different, do it. Don't let anybody tell you who you can be," which seemed, odd from a guy. I took it to heart. He owned the theater too, but at the time he was making popcorn when he told me. And I did the show. It was fantastic. Everybody came out. And then afterwards, I literally from the stage, I told the Pockbox story. And then I go, and by the way, they have a lounge called Whiskey Soda. And if that's open when I'm finished, we're going there after this show. So I finished. I went and met people. They bought shirts. It was really cool. I shook some hands. I took some photos. My friend Dawn came out, who I knew in high school, who I made an awkward pass at a million years ago. She brought her husband to the show. And then Russ was there with his wife, Annie, and then they had to take off. They couldn't hang out. So it was me and some other people. And I was like, hey, I'm serious about those wings if you guys want to go. And they're like, yeah, we're in. So it was Todd Rush, who's a huge fan and a big supporter of the show. Our friend Rich Galvin, who ran the Warrior Dash with me, and his wife, Kristen, was there. Our friends Lauren and Michelle came from Seattle, I think, or from Salem or somewhere in Oregon. They don't live in Portland proper. But it was, let me think, it was me, Lauren, and Michelle, and then Rich, Kristen, and Todd. Yeah, it was just 6. It was the 6 of us who hung out. And we went to Whiskey Soda. And we were all in separate cars, but we found our way there. And they had a table waiting for us inside. It wasn't busy. And I said, look, guys, I'm sure I'm overselling these wings, but we should get them. So they were hot, and then they were mild. And a couple of the people there really liked hot food. Kristen and Lauren said they really liked spicy food. And so we just started ordering. And I ordered. They were like, go ahead. And so the waitress came, and I said, you know what? We'll get 2 plates of mild wings and 1 plate of hot wings. And then she goes, okay. And then she started to go around the table, and everybody else started ordering wings. I'm like, guys, I didn't order 3 plates of wings for me. I ordered them for the table. We're cool with that, right? But sure enough, Todd ordered 1 more plate of mild wings, and Lauren ordered 1 more plate of spicy wings. And then I got some pad thai, and then Michelle got a coconut ice cream sandwich, like a coconut banana ice cream sandwich. Yeah, a homemade. So they brought all this food, and they bring all the wings, and everybody starts eating the wings, and it got real quiet because everybody then they're just like, yeah, these are amazing, and we just shut up and ate wings. And then I ate the hot wings, and they weren't that spicy. I liked them, but of course by the time we finished, there were 2 full leftover plates of wings, which I knew there would be. And everybody took the leftovers, and we had a great time. It was so cool to hang out with the Galvins and Todd and Michelle and Lauren. Michelle and Lauren they've driven all over to see me. They've seen me in Seattle. They've seen me in Portland twice now. Just great, amazing people, and thank you so much all for coming out. And then I flew back Saturday, and then I was in town for fucking 2 days, and then went to San Francisco. And I had lunch with the Special Thing guys. I don't know if I talked about that on here, Ryan and Matt, last Monday. And same thing where I sat them down and I said, listen, I don't know about this CD. I mean, I'm excited about it, but it might not be, it's going to be a combination of like comedy and The Moth. I go, that's kind of what I see it as. Oh, I shouldn't say that. He's going to come out of the sink. Maybe that's why they sent a hit for me. They're like, you're infringing on our copyright. You're taking our gimmick because I'm changing the game, Moth. So So I told Matt and Ryan, I go, because down to the last minute, I was like, I don't know what I should change should I change the show? What should I do? What should I make it? Because I did it in Portland. And again, I was trying to trim it down to about 75 minutes. And in Portland, it was an hour and 45. And I really liked the flow of it. I thought it was great. And then I told them that. I go, but it's long. And he goes, and Matt and Ryan both said, don't change anything you do. We want to do this with you because we want you to be you. They could not have been nicer or more accommodating and telling me that I should just do what I want and then we'll make it work. So that also kind of buoyed me a little bit getting into the final stretch for the CD. And then I went to San Francisco. I went on Thursday. I did the show here last Wednesday. Got there on Thursday. Sylvester picked me up, and I took him to Dottie's Blue Moon Cafe, where my friend Lily Von Stupp and I had eaten the first time. I did it on purpose. I wanted to have breakfast in the same place because it was a great success when I did the show in San Francisco the first time in 2010. And Lily and I made Lily, if she was sleeping in my car, waiting for me, so I was in line again for eggs. But then we went in and we had breakfast and we had a good time. So this time around, I wanted to go to the same place. Well, they've changed locations, but you still got a line out the door. Sylvester's like, dude, we'll go. So we waited in line. We went in, and what's weird is I ordered breakfast. I ordered the exact same thing I ordered when I was with you, and I didn't mean to. It just sounded good. And then when it came, I bit it and I go, I recognize this. This is exactly what I got the last time. It was pulled pork and eggs with tortillas and homemade home fries and stuff. And then I went to my hotel. I was in the Holiday Inn on Civic Center on 8th, and I was supposed to go to the A's game. I had talked to Sylvester, and he was up for it. He's like, I'll drive to Oakland. We can take Bart. We can do whatever, but I definitely, I'm in. Well, I didn't sleep because, as you guys know, I did the podcast on Wednesday, and then I had to stay up Wednesday and do the email blast and all my Facebook stuff. And at that point, it got to be like 2:33, and I had to be at the airport by 5:30. So there was no point in getting to sleep. So I said, I'll sleep on the plane. And I did. And I mean out. I sat down, put on my earbuds while we were still on the ground. And I woke up when we hit the ground in San Francisco. I was gone. Because it's only like an hour and 35 minutes, but still, I was out. So I had to beg off the game. I really wanted to go, and I probably could have made it work. But I tried to be a grown-up and say to myself, you know what? You're here for a reason. You know, you didn't come to town to go to baseball games and breakfast. You came to town to be ready to do your CD tomorrow. So you need to sleep today, because if you go to the game, then you'll get a second wind and you'll be up all night tonight. And then tomorrow you'll sleep till what, 4? You have to be up tomorrow to go through stuff. So I begged off and I said, Sylvester, I'm really sorry. I can't go to the game. And he said, no problem. I went to my room and I went to bed at noon and woke up at 4, which is exactly the time frame I would have spent at the game. Woke up at 4 and I was fine. And then Thursday I wasn't planning on doing anything, but I usually do the heavy lifting for the show on Friday, all day Friday. Well, I got a text from my friend Eric Butterfield, who's the producer of the show. And he's like, hey, why don't you come out on Thursday? So I met him and a friend, and we wound up in a bar for a while. I went back to the hotel room. I got up Friday to get ready for the show. And I just went to the darkroom theater. I got picked up by my friend Kilt Bill. He drove me down there, and man, I sat in the green room, and it was funny to be back full circle, because the last time I was in San Francisco was February of last year. I came and did the same show, but the first time I ever did this run of the one man was in the darkroom theater. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to record the CD there. It was kind of the beginning and the end, and if you recall, when I went there in 2010, I had no idea what to expect, because it had been so long since I'd been on stage. I certainly had never been on stage for any length of time like I was considering. And I also didn't know how I was going to be received by people, because I do this show and I think I'm funny and I'm glad that you guys like it. But at the same time, I imagine you're laughing or you wouldn't be listening. But live, it's totally different. I mean, live, if you don't laugh, it becomes a thing. So I wasn't sure how I'd be received. And so I remember, I think I told you guys, I sat in the green room, and I was told, like, Lily's like, hey, these people love you. You don't need to be worried. So I made that kind of a mantra where I sat in the green room. In my head, I was like, these people love you. These people love you. These people love you. And I would breathe like really heavy, like deep in, deep out. And so I was in the same green room doing the same thing and thinking, and I went back. I go to these other cities and I'm not nervous. Like, it doesn't bother me. But the reason I got nervous for the CD is because the time frame got in my head. All sorts of things got in my head. I let them in there. And so I just sat there and I calmed down and I blew them all out. And I got to see Bucky Sinister. He showed up and Eric was there, and it was good. I had a good time. And then it was time for me to go on stage, and I did. And I'm not going to go into too much about the CD, because it'll speak for itself when it comes out, I hope. I just got the raw audio track today, and I have to listen to it yet. I haven't heard it, but I'm proud of it. I'm really excited. I was happy. I was in my head a little bit after the show because that's what you do. It's funny. Our friends Jason and Toby and Lily came up from Orange County. They've seen me do the show a few times. They saw me in Denver. Toby couldn't make it to Denver, but Jason and Lily saw me in Denver. They saw me in San Francisco previously, and they're good friends. They're friends of the show. They've come and seen me actually do stand-up in L.A. And after the show, we all went out to eat, and it was Ian Kim, who is a good guy, a nice guy. Ian came out, a guy named Brett, who's originally from New Orleans, and he was. I met so many people. I mean, everybody was very nice. We took photos after the show. It was once the show ended, the CD taping ended. There was a show after me, so I went in the back, and I was crazy sweaty, and I had to go out on the street to meet people and sell shirts and take pictures. So now we took over this fucking street. We took over Mission Street, this one area. I looked like I was doing 3-card money because there was this huge group around me, and they were buying shirts. Eric Butterfield stepped up, and he started to take the cash and sell the shirts, which was nice. And I posed with people for photographs. A guy named Michael Curran was there. I mean, just so many people. Ian Kim was a guy. He when I lost my job, he wrote me. He's like, I can find you a job. Like, I have this shitty job. It's terrible, but I can probably get it for you. And I wrote him. I'm like, actually, I'm kind of in the neighborhood. And he wrote me like, he's like, you don't want this job. It's terrible. He's like, it's awful. You're too good for it. Like, I would never even want you to have it. He goes, I'm too good for it, and I do it. I'm like, all right, I understand. So then, like I said, we went out to eat. It was Sylvester and Kilt Bill and Ian and Brett and me and Eric Butterfield and then Toby and Lily and Jason. And the reason I bring it up is because I was analyzing the show in the moment when we wanted to eat, and I was kind of being self-critical. And Lily kept going, "You're wrong. You're wrong. The show was great." And I didn't think that the show wasn't great, but at the same time, as a performer, you get in your head and you think about things and things that could have been different and things you could have done better. And you always do that. I do it with every single show when I'm finished. And the thing is, I usually don't bore people with it. But because we went out and somebody asked me, I decided to be honest about it. I'm like, I'll wait till I hear the audio, but I'm excited, but I need to figure some things out. And then Lily Pontel was like, she said, oh, you know what? It was really good. You shouldn't be like that. So because it bothered her, the rest of the meal, all I did was make fun of the show and how bad it was. Like every time, and she would just go, "You're wrong. You're so wrong." And she'd get mad, and I'd go, come on. And so then I would do it when I was talking to somebody else, and then I would look out of the corner of my eye, and she'd just go, she'd make like a mean face. And I was doing it on purpose to kind of trick her, but it was fun. We went to a place called was it the Pig and Pie? Pig and Pie? I don't know. They had a bunch of pork and, and pickles and meatballs, and it was good. It was good food. So we hung out, and I went back to the hotel. I made Bill bring me to a Walgreens in the Castro so I could get a candy bar. Eric wanted to kill me because he's in the backseat ready to fall asleep because it's 1:30 in the morning. And I'm like, dude, I'm up. Let's go. Let's go to Walgreens. So we went to 2 different Walgreens that were closed, and I had the app in my hand. That's how bad it is, folks. I have the app, and I'm like, all right, there's one in the Castro. I go, there has to be one in the Castro, right? Gay people need their medicine in the middle of the night. Let's go. So we drove. It's like, how would you would make $1 million in condoms and medicine sales. So we show up, and I burst in, and it was everybody was very friendly. I bought a candy bar and went out to the car, and then I got in the car and I opened the door, and it's not Kilt Bill and Eric at all. It's another guy with McDonald's food on his passenger seat. And I opened the door to climb in, and I go, "You are the wrong car." And he just goes, "You sure?" And I said, "Ha ha," and I closed the door. And then I walked over, and if they had parked they moved up to let the guy park there. And I opened the door. I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, that guy was there, so I moved up." I'm like, "Yeah, his car looks just like yours. I tried to get it." And he's like, "Oh, that's hilarious." "No, it isn't, Bill. It's not hilarious." Went back to the hotel, and the next morning, the next day I was going to fly out late because I wanted to go to the Giants game. And our friend Lou, who was a friend of both Lily and I, he was Lily's friend first, actually. And he took Lily out to dinner when I was there in 2010. He asked me to go, and I couldn't because I was gripping, and I had to go over the fucking show notes. But this time around, he took me to the Giant game, and we went and had a good time. And he had great seats. We were in center field. Beautiful park. Great game. Giants lost, but still fun. I bought a Dungeness crab sandwich because, me, I like to get weird stuff when I'm in a weird place. Because I asked him, I go, they have dogs and stuff, but what do they have that's like crazy? He goes, well, I used to get a cha-cha bowl from Juan Marichal's fucking barbecue joint. And I go, that sounds amazing. However, look at this Dungeness crab sandwich. So I, of course, gravitated to the seafood, and he got fish and chips. Because, folks, if you can't get seafood at the ballpark, where can you get seafood? We had a good time, watched the game, had fun. And then Lou took me right to the airport. And I left San Francisco, came back here. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the CD. I'm excited about it. I'm proud of it. I still don't know the name. David and I are going to try to figure it out. And we're going to listen to the audio. And I sent Lily the audio today, and she had some opinions on it.
That sounds so.
Well, because I mean, here's the thing: you're predisposed to like me. You have to like me. So you're. That's true. So Lily heard it, and she only heard the first hour. But she seemed to enjoy it. It seemed to be something that she thought was really good. So I'm excited, and I trust David and I trust Lily because I love you guys and you're cool, but they know kind of what I'm trying to do. I think they're in tune with it a little more, and they've been around since the beginning. Fuck, Dave's known me 30 years, so they're kind of it's the consigliere. They're the inner circle, and as soon as I hear what they think, that'll be good. And I hope it means I don't have to listen to the show, but I know that that's not true. I know I do, but I just can't. It's so weird. Like when I sit and I listen, it just gets. But then saying that, I will go back and I listen to old shows, and I'll when I'm looking for something and I'm listening, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is hysterical. I'm hysterical. Everything I say is hysterical, folks. I'm the best, and it's just a shame that I won't be around for year 6, and it'll just be Mex and Oats, as I'm out doing a busker buster and I'm stealing change from people on the street. I defy you, saxophonist, street Clarence Clemens. I defy you to keep your eye on your change as the busker buster slips by and steals it while Mex and Oats are entertaining the masses once a fucking week with Lily here in charge. Because Lily will be here, and she's got a Schmidt on her list. As Mex and Oats are in here, they're doing Schmidt on my list, and Lily's here taking care of it. And they're gonna and look, not every song has to have a Schmidt connection, right? they'll just Mex and Oats will come in and do 3 songs a week, and Lily will produce it, and that's fine. That's what year 6. That's what you've got to look forward to, folks. Year 6 is going to be Mex and Oats as I'm out stealing change from fucking hobos, and they don't all have to have a Schmidt connection because I don't want you because maybe they do. She's gone. Maybe they come in and they do. Although I guess really that does have a Schmidt connection when you think about it. Fuck. You guys can get me at Mike@MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can be our friend Dave Hernandez, his friend at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can also be our friend Lily's friend on Facebook at Facebook.com/LilyVonStupp. Follow her at 2 different Twitter accounts, Twitter.com/LilyVonStupp, Twitter.com/MNTs. Hold on, a third has just entered the fray. Twitter.com/FNHappyHour, FNHappyHour. And if you want to write her a personal note and you want to reach out and find out, if you want to weigh in and tell her exactly what she should do with this gigantic fucking 747 with a fur coat in her sink, if you're like me and you believe moths must die, you can send her a personal note at lily@burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Must drink your coffee, must hold some pencils, must soak your frosty, must hold more pencils, must on these mugs. This rainbow Schmitty on these mugs. Go buy these wicked awesome mugs at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Mugs, 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 mugs,
I want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. I'll be there this week. I was there last week. It was a great time. It was really fun. It was the DC Comics extravaganza with a Batman MC and a half nude Robin. It was fun. It was a good time. This coming Monday, I'm not sure who's there. I know I will be there taking names and giving out wristbands and messing things up and getting yelled at by Lily. Not yet. Well, no, but there was a dust-up last week, as we talked about. But that's okay. However, I will let... I happen to know the producer of the show, of the Monday Night Teas. She's a good friend of mine, and a good friend of yours as well. The only thing is she's a little soft when it comes to bugs. My friend Lily von Stubb. Hey, Lily.
Hello, Michael.
How are you?
Fantastic.
That's good. There's a show this week on Monday. Is it a theme show? Is it an extravaganza? What's happening?
It is Stumpapalooza.
Stumpapalooza.
It's Stumpy's birthday, and
Of the famed Doc and Stumpy?
yes, and
All
he's
right.
picked 8 of his favorite performances, including asking me to perform my famous poodle act.
Everybody loves the Poodle Act.
So I will be performing on Monday, whether I want to or not.
Okay.
It's very
The
nice.
lengths you'll go for a birthday.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Good.
It'll be a really good show. Quintessential's performing. Sheila Starr's performing. We've got a guy from Bindlestiff Circus out of New York coming in town. Cardone is his name. He's going to be doing some
Cardone.
ventriloquism that is
Oh, boy.
actually funny.
Okay.
You know, I'm like.
You know the funniest thing about that ventriloquism? That anybody is still doing ventriloquism in 2013.
But he doesn't do ventriloquism the way you would do he doesn't have a dummy. So it's more.
Say no more. Come and see it.
Yeah.
You guys have to come and see
It's gonna be good.
Cardone.
It's gonna be good.
Cool. And then this Friday, which is tomorrow,
Yes.
there's the Friday night happy hour, the
Yes, there
FN
is.
happy hour, and you will be there hosting as always.
I will be.
I will
and
be there working the door.
I'm very, very pleased because she doesn't perform with us often, and I'm delighted to have Sophia Serena there.
Oh, nice.
And I'm trying to think who else is performing. There's a couple other awesome girls, and I feel bad I can't think who it is right
Always fun, games and fun, and it's a fast-paced show with drinking and booze, and it's over in an hour, and then we'll all hang out together. It'll be fun. Come on out tomorrow night to the FN happy hour at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine at 8 o'clock, correct?
Yes. 8 o'clock it starts. Be there at 7.
Be there at 7 to drink, and then game and pre-game, and then there's the show itself at 8, and then everybody gets naked at 9. So that'll be fun. Remember, there's a Monday Night Tease as well the following week. Come on out to all of these shows. See me there. Say hi. Get a wristband, and everything will be fun. And remember, that if you get there and you smack Lily on the ass, you don't have to pay. And that works. Does that work on Friday as well as Monday?
It doesn't work ever. They need to slap you on the ass.
Sounds like it works both.
Power.
Sounds like it works both days. All right, so. Come on out to both shows. It'll be fun. Please go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. There you will see tweakedaudio.com/40 earbuds for sale. They have the autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds and the cock ring watches. Buying either benefits this show. Zazzle.com carries our mugs. We have Fireboy. We have Thorgar and Yeep. I will tell you this. There are T-shirts available, but no longer Scar Panda. Scar Panda is out.
Wow.
We are sold out of black T-shirts. Well, I should apologize. There's a small and a medium left. So if you guys want those, then go ahead and get those. But every other large size is gone. The red shirts, there are extra larges through smalls. Small, medium, large, extra large available, but not many. And we are running those out, and there will not be new ones. So if you want Red Boy, get it now. And then I'll just throw this out there for no good reason. You know, I have some shirts. I have a Boston shirt. I have a Minneapolis shirt. I have some Atlanta shirts. I have a Denver shirt. Not many, probably like 6 in total. But if anybody's interested in those, write me, and maybe I'll cut you a deal on them. We'll see. We'll see. What if you wrote me and I didn't? No deal. No deal, you. But I mean, the shirts are normally 25 if you buy them online, and then they're shipping. I tell you what, anybody who wants an older shirt, Denver, Atlanta, and again, sizes vary. I don't even know what I have. Okay, I know there's one San Francisco, the yellow, the Schmidt shirt, which is my favorite shirt. One I think that we made besides the Prince. There's one Minneapolis Prince shirt. There's a Boston Leprechaun shirt. There's a couple of Atlantas. There's at least one Denver, and mostly there's no extra larges. It's large, medium, small in any of those. So if you guys want those, I'll tell you what. Should we go 20? Because then I'll cover shipping on it. So because that's why normally it's 25, but of that fee, like 6 of it goes to shipping. Well, we'll call them 20. So we'll knock $5 off. So anybody who wants that, but contact me first, because here's the thing: you can't buy them online. You got to make a donation. It's fucking weird. I'm an idiot with a store that doesn't work. So you'll have to write me, tell me which one you want, or find out the sizes. I'll tell you. We'll negotiate. Then you make a donation. Then I'll send you a shirt. That's a lot of talking. Please remember, year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4 of this show are available for download. or you can buy the complete Podcast of the Caribbean set, available now. And I will tell you that these are the last 2 weeks for the Podcast of the Caribbean set, as you know. And after that, it will change into whatever it's going to change into, involving year 5. But if you want to get year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4 together for $75, the Podcast of the Caribbean set is available for just 2 more weeks. That'll be out there for your entertainment and your perusal and your downloading and your purchasing at Joe Business, the page on the MikeSchmidtComedy.com website. Remember that the Schmitty Comes Live download is there. It's the $5 download of my performance from the Los Angeles Podcast Festival last year. And artwork is available. The signed autographed prints, signed by me, signed by Lily, signed by David. I just got an order from Rich Galvin. Other people, everybody who's ordered artwork, it's in the pipeline. I have to get it from David, and then I have to send it to you. It's got to be signed. So please know that I know that you've ordered it, and I will get it all taken care of. So that's shirts, that's downloads, that's mugs, that's autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds, and cock ring watches, and artwork. All of that is available for sale now. Also, you can just donate to the show if you'd like. You can donate per month. There's $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, and $25 a month. And those are the options for the next 2 weeks. They might be changing as well. And sign up for those. And you can also make a one-time donation to the show if you'd like. I would appreciate it. Lily would appreciate it. And, of course, David would appreciate it. Please go to Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy and become my friend while you're there. Why are you laughing?
It's just funny to me the way you said it.
Okay. Go there and be my friend. And also, please remember that there are live dates afoot. There's 2, actually, next week. I'm off next week, so you will not hear about this, but I am at the Bridgetown Comedy Festival, and the schedule has been announced. I have a stand-up set Friday night at 9:30 p.m., and I have my performance of the 40-year-old boy, just me, one man, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. I'm not sure how long I have. I'm not sure how long I'll do. I still don't even know what I'm going to talk about while I'm there. But hopefully you guys will come out to the show. Passes are available. Go to bridgetowncomedy.com, I believe, or just Google Bridgetown Comedy, and you will find their website. And you can get passes for the festival and go see all the shows. And there are 1 million performers and 1 billion people who are funnier than me. But if you find time while you're there, please come out and check out the show. I will be on a bill 9:30 on Friday with the very funny Chip Pope, the very funny Jim Bruce from Paul Goebel's podcast, a good friend of mine, and then other people who I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure they're very funny. Certainly funnier than me, but at least I'll be there, and I'll be getting a rub from them and their humor. And then the next day, Paul Gilmartin is doing his podcast just before mine. He wrote me, he's like, hey, I'm back to back with you at Bridgetown. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll bring the mop for the tears and you bring the jackass preparedness kit. Because that is a weird team up. But that's fine. I will be there at 4 o'clock. The show is available on Saturday. Tickets, passes, all that at Bridgetown Comedy's website. Google that and you will find it. Or you can find the link on my Facebook page. Also, please remember, I'm going to say this again. This show was scheduled a month ago. And then I had to reschedule it for May. So I'm in Detroit, and nobody is buying tickets. I mean, that's cool. If you guys don't want to come see me, that's fine. You did start a page and all that stuff. But it'd be kind of cool if you bought some tickets for Detroit. And I recognize it's a month away, but, my situation's changed a little bit. So to come out and fly out and get a theater and all that kind of stuff, it would be really cool if I could kind of at least make that back. So there are tickets holders right now. If you have a ticket that was good in March, it's also good in May. And let's get some more people to buy some tickets. That'd be great. We're about a month out from that show, maybe 5 weeks. And I recognize that's a lot of time, and you guys could go, no, it's 4 weeks. We're exactly a month out. Yeah, because it's April 10th right now, I think, right? I don't know. So please, buy tickets to the Detroit show. They're available at brownpapertickets.com. You will see my name, Google the 40-year-old boy, and you will see that there is a tour stop in Detroit. Come on out. And again, I don't know what stories I'm telling. I don't know if I'm doing the original one-man. And also, by the way, people are asking me about the CD, the release date. I don't think it's out for 2 months. It takes a while for them to master it and all that kind of stuff. We got to get the cover. We got to get it printed. There's a bunch of different things. But I'm pretty sure it might even be a couple months more than that. Like, it might be the end of the summer. That's my guess, because they have a big docket over there at a Special Thing Records, and I'm in the mix, and I'm happy to do it. So we have to approve the audio. We got to get it printed up. We got to get the cover taken care of, all sorts of stuff. So I think let's assume the end of the summer, and let's all be pleasantly surprised if it comes out before that. That'd be great. I should tell you, next week, as I've mentioned before, I won't be here. Something will be here. Well, I should just tell you. I always make it like it's a goofy surprise, but if you've been listening to the show for a long time, you know that when a year ends, there's a week where we don't do a regular show, and we do a show called The Interlude. And I have had this year's Interlude for a couple of weeks, and I made Lily listen to it today. Like I want so badly to share it with you, and I can't wait until next week. Like this is the last day of school for me, and next week is my summer vacation because I cannot wait to hear the response from people when they hear the interlude. David Hernandez is just he does so much for this show, and I can tell you that next week he outdid himself. I can't wait for you to hear it. The artwork is amazing. The actual interlude itself is amazing. He did all the writing, and we actually completed the writing a couple of months ago, and the writing and the recording. So I've had this for almost 6 weeks, and we've just got to put it together and get it out there where you can listen to it. So and it's also that same thing where he's like, well, I think this is a good idea, and I go, okay, and 2 days later I have lyrics. And 2 days later, I have this, and he's written everything. So he goes above and beyond. And so next week, I'm really excited for it. I always like when we do the interlude because it just means that I don't have to talk. And I mean, I like talking, certainly, but I love to hear Dave sing a lot more than I love to hear me talk. So next week's show, the interlude is going to be amazing. And like I said, we wrote it probably a couple months ago, and then he recorded it, and he records it at his house, and he gets it to me. And I think you're going to dig it. And I just want to tell you guys, this is the end of year 5. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get through year 1 because my producer, Eric, quit at the end of like the 9th week. And Lily stepped up and said, hey, I will help you. And I said, no, because everybody I try to work with winds up leaving. And she said, I won't. She said, if it ever gets to a point where it's interfering with our friendship, I will tell you. And I cannot believe that 5 years later, it has not interfered with our friendship. So I'm so grateful to Lily for all of the help that she's provided, and the fact that she comes here, really of her own accord, because there's no money. So certainly now there's no money, as I have to fucking throw every cent into my real life. But I've done what I can and tried to help out David and Lily and give them as much money as I possibly could from shirts and merchandise, and it's never enough. Whatever I give them could not make up or certainly pay them back for what they've done for me. All I do is talk. I've told you this a million times. All I do is talk, and you wouldn't get to hear it if it wasn't for Lily bringing it to you, and you wouldn't be able to tolerate it in long stretches if you weren't knowing that eventually David was going to give you some sort of breather or a break or a song or something to break up what is just a guy running downhill. I'm proud of the show. I love to do it, and I'm glad that you guys have stuck with it all the way here through year 5. Hopefully you will join Mex and Oats for year 6. Because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board, and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go with this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus fuck. Hey, where are you going?